Sunday service where the sermon gets raw. Preaching liberation, raise fists, break laws. Holy
Warning,
text, ink
copyright
struggle,
disclaimer under Section
pure
107 of the
bodies bound
Copyright Act
together.
1976,
But these
allowance
souls
is made
won't
for
quit.
fair use, for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Warning, copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use, for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
In this crooked game of power politics here in America, the Negro, namely the race problem, integration, civil rights issue, are all nothing but tools used by the whites who call themselves liberals against another group of whites who call themselves conservatives, either to get into power or to retain power. Among whites here in America, the political teams are no longer divided into Democrats and Republicans. The whites who are now struggling for control of the American political throne are divided into liberal and conservative camps. The white liberals from both parties cross party lines to work together toward the same goal, and white conservatives from both parties do likewise. The white liberal differs from the white conservative only in one way. The liberal is more deceitful, more hypocritical than the conservative. Both want power, but the white liberal is the one who has perfected the art of posing as the Negro's friend and benefactor. And by winning the friendship and support of the Negro, the white liberal is able to use the Negro as a pawn or a weapon in this political football game that is constantly raging between the white liberals and the white conservatives.
What it do, family and friends? Welcome back to the Church of Black Power. If you're not subscribed, go ahead, hit that subscribe button along with the notification bell so you can be notified whenever videos like this drop. Please make sure you're hitting that like and share button so we can beat up the algorithm. Make sure we get this message out to the ears that need to hear. And if you have not done so yet, please click the link in the description, go to change.org and put your signature on the petition for reparations. And with that being said, family, you have my sincerest apologies for my tardiness. I was having some technical difficulty issues. I had everything loaded up into the StreamYard, and then for some reason, my internet went out. And when your internet goes out, everything that you put into the whole situation from StreamYard just disappears. Anybody who knows StreamYard knows that. So you have my sincerest apologies. I had to go in and reload all the things that I was going to be presenting today. But we're going to have a good one. It's going to be another great broadcast regardless of the fact. But family, I titled this broadcast today, FBA, we are who we're meant to be. And that's because of several things I've been seeing over the past week or so that I've been wanting to speak about. And we're going to get into it. We're definitely going to get into it. But one of the things I want to hammer home, I want to put into the minds of anybody who's hearing this nonsense. We are who we're meant to be. We are the game changers. This generation, we're the game changers. This is our time. We're not the civil rights generation. We're not the Jim Crow generation. We're not the Black Codes generation. We are foundational Black Americans in our time. This is the get right generation, the hell to the no generation, as our brother Black Alpha so greatly puts it. We're not here to make other people comfortable. We're not here to give everybody representation. We're not here for none of that. We are the F around and find out generation. We're exactly who we're meant to be. We don't want to be anybody else. We don't want to be white folk. We don't want to be generic Africans. We don't want to be Caribbean. None of that. We're exactly who our ancestors dreamed about. We are our ancestors' wildest dreams. Let's make sure everyone knows that. There should be no misconceptions. We are the reparations generation. We are the generation that pushes for the anti-Black hate crime bill that we will receive. Now, I'm not saying or downplaying anything that any of our ancestors went through during the times that they went through it, but guess what? That was their time, and this time is ours. Our time is now. And I want to make sure that if you get nothing else from this broadcast today, when you walk away from this broadcast, you'll have it in your heart, mind, spirit, and soul that we are who we're meant to be in this day and age at this exact time. We need to be it. I want to make that very, very clear. Now, before we get into the broadcast, family, let's get into some of the family in the chat. So let's see who's all here. Oh, there's a lot here today. All right. Shout out to our brother Jesse Paris. B1, salute to you, family. Reparations Nation. I saw you didn't have a wrench and we fixed that problem before I jumped on. So let's see if you. Yep. All right. Just wanted to make sure you got that, family. Shout out to you. Shout out to our family, Angelic Elena. I appreciate you for being here, family. Aquarius Minded. Shout out to you. Thank you for being here, family. The Big Black God. Shout out to you and thank you for being here, family. Also, thank you for your Cash App that you sent earlier. I appreciate that, family. Shout out to Bad, my sister, Miss Duckworth. I appreciate you for being here, family. Our brother Black Truth United. Shout out to you for being here, family. Salute to you, my good brother. Priscilla Taylor, I appreciate you for being here. And shout out to Jersey City. Shout out to Jersey City. I have some family out that way. Just moved out there. Willie Bonnie, shout out to you, family. I appreciate you for being here. KK Speaks, shout out to you for being here, family. Blessings to you. MD Williams, shout out to you, family. Thank you for being here. Okay, let's see here. Is that it here? Just give me 1 second. Finally, want to make sure I hit everybody. What's up to my brother Gary Williams? What's in the house, family? Shout out to you. Jen C. Hall, shout out to you, family. Much love to you and thank you for being here. Let's see here. Miriam, shout out to you, my good sister. Blessings to you. Shalom, and thank you for being here. And I think that's it for the chat. Let me make sure. I want to make sure I skip nobody. Makiba Anderson, thank you for being here, my sister. See, I almost missed you. I almost missed you. Now, Miss Denise, Miss Niecy, Hurricane Niecy, you telling me I missed you? I can't. That can't be true. Miss Niecy, shout out to you, my love, my sister, my queen. You know I love you, and you know I would never purposely forget you or skip you. My apologies to you, my sister. Now, let's get into it. Let's get into it, family. I want to start off with this. Let's go here.
This is a prime example right here of what I was talking about in the video. Y'all be so mad that we don't want to be white. Just imagine your surprise when I tell you my parents been married my whole life. Now what? And in the next lifetime, if God said have a deadbeat father and be black, or be white with a healthy family, I would choose to be black with that deadbeat father. Now what? This is a prime example right here of what I was talking about in the video. Y'all be so mad that we don't want to be white. Just imagine your surprise when I tell you my parents been married my whole life. Now what? And in the next lifetime, if God said have a deadbeat father and be black, or be white with a healthy family, I would choose to be black with that deadbeat father. Now what?
Family, being black isn't something that we put on and take off. Being foundational Black American isn't something that we wish we can change. A lot of people, for some damn reason, think that we wish we could be them for some damn reason. Whether it's white, black, Hispanic, Asian, African, for some reason, they seem to think that we don't like who we are. But these same people will turn around in the same breath, then try to pretend to do and be everything that we are. So as we've been standing on 10 toes, as we've been standing on business, people are trying to create these narratives in order for themselves to cope with why we're being so aggressively protective, why we're being so aggressively us. Well, they just don't get it. If we had the ability to change or come back to this earth as anything else, we wouldn't pick anything else. We wouldn't pick to be an African. We wouldn't pick to be an Asian. We wouldn't pick to be a white person. Why? Because being who we are has molded us in the fire. And through the fire, shout out to our sister Shaka Khan. But through that fire, we were forged into one of the most dangerous weapons that ever have existed. And that is the foundational Black American. We're the most resilient. We're the most proud. We are the conscience of the world. People look to us to see what's going on and what do we think about things. And that's why they hate us. They hate us because they ain't us. That's just what it is. And so then they try to flip the script to say, oh, well, you're only acting so proud because you really in your heart and soul, you really want to be white, or you really want to be African. Remember before we started delineating, family? Remember before we started delineating, when we was claiming the African heritage of our people, whether or not you're a direct descendant of Africans who were enslaved, or whether or not you were direct descendants of Indians in this country, the Aboriginal and the indigenous in this country who was taken into slavery and reclassified, we were all showing love and giving shots out to the African heritage in us. It was them who kept telling us that we're not African. It was them who told us that we are not the same. It was them coming over here into our country, getting jobs like Uber. You hop in the car and say, what up, my brother? Oh, I am not your brother. What do you mean? We both black. Oh, I'm not black. I'm African. This was them. And it wasn't until we said, okay, be African. We're not African. We're foundational Black Americans. Everybody on the planet comes from Africa. So respect our ethnogenesis. We're the only people that they cannot respect the ethnogenesis of. Tell me if I'm telling lies. All that time, we was running around here preaching the word of Marcus Garvey. Like, I'm a Garveyite. I grew up a Garveyite. I read almost every damn book Garvey put out there. And I went around trying to preach love and respect amongst the diaspora. And it wasn't until we actually had the resources and the ability, the technology, to see that these folks was not doing the same thing. Let's keep this real. Let's keep this real. We've been the only people who's been loving to the diaspora. There is no other Black folk in the diaspora that like any other Black folk in the diaspora. A few weeks ago, I played the African woman, the Jamaican woman who was telling the African woman that, oh, I don't like you. We don't like you here. And the only people who push the concepts of Marcus Garvey have been us. And I say that to say this, not that we didn't never have any other Pan-Africans. I bring up Garvey for one reason and one reason only, because y'all like to bring up Garvey. And Garvey couldn't get nothing popping where he was at. Let's keep that real. When we bring up these notions, when we explain these things to people, they can't accept it in their minds. They can't fathom what the hell we're talking about, because what we're speaking about shows them as a villain. It shows them as the opposition of who we are and everything that we was forced to be through the fire. Let's be real. Family, this is why you turn around left and right and you see these people disrespecting us, disrespecting our lineage, disrespecting our culture. Because they mad that we are exactly who we're meant to be at the exact time that we need to be it. It is no coincidence that the universe has been moving with expeditious speed to show us as foundational Black Americans how nobody rocks with us. No matter who it is, people are claiming Black and brown community, the Black and brown, the browns don't mess with us. People of color, all the other colors don't rock with us. The universe has said, hey, FBA, come here. I'm going to hold your hand on this. Have a seat. I need you to see this. And turned on the TV and showed us everybody rocking against us. So we've taken that. If we're not anything, we are very, very spiritual people. That majority spirit is very, very real within us. So when the universe shows us, we believe it. We don't start making up reasons why. We don't start trying to come up with reasons to go ahead and justify their hatred. We accept it and we rock with ourselves. We've leaned back from everyone. And that's due to the fact that the universe has moved with expeditious speed to show us that these folks don't rock with us. They talk about us when we're not in the room. They talk about us when we're not in the States. They talk about us when we're not in their country. And Dr. Anderson used to speak about this all the time, family. We do not have any allies. We don't have any friends. And the sooner people start to realize that, we'll move with expeditious speed up that mountain. Not that we're not moving up that mountain because we're doing it now, but we'll move faster. I want to go here.
I have a theory as to why Black British people and people from around the diaspora disrespect Black Americans so openly and so willingly, and say things based in misinformation and just fallacies with their whole chest. I obviously this week shared the conversation I had with my friend Tope talking about Black Brits versus Black Americans. I posted it on Instagram, and Instagram, the energy on there is always way different than TikTok. But one of my friends who's Nigerian, who grew up in Brooklyn, who has babies with Black Americans, called me today and we had a discussion about it. And he made a comment that said the following: Black American culture is an amalgamation of Caribbean culture, European culture, and African culture. And I said, Black American culture is not Caribbean culture. It is the culture that developed here over 500 years at the same time the cultures in Latin America and the Caribbean developed. To say that Black American culture is the same as Black British culture without the slavery aspect gave me a foresight into how they think. You cannot separate the slavery in America and say the culture is the same, because Black Americans exist in America because of slavery, the same way Caribbean people and Latin American people exist in the region because of slavery. Like, what? He then asked me, well, okay, you guys love music. Let's talk about music. He said hip hop is a Caribbean invention. And I said, hip hop is an African American invention that came out of funk and soul, that African Americans invented, that Caribbeans participated in the Bronx. He said, okay, well, what else did Black Americans create? I said, jazz, funk, soul, R&B, country, rock and roll, techno, house. And he said, verbatim, you see, that's where the arrogance comes in. And I'm like, arrogance? I said, so you're mad that Black Americans created the music that most people in the world listen to? He said, no, no, no. Where does it come from? Where does the beats come from? The beats, the drum comes from Africa. And I said, do you ask a Jamaican, does dance hall come from Jamaica? Do you tell a Jamaican, oh, dance hall comes from Africa? Do you tell a Haitian, compa comes from Africa? And it's like, why?
Spoiler alert, family, they don't. You have never heard Africans trying to claim reggae music. You have never heard Africans trying to claim dance hall music. So why in the hell are they going around trying to claim hip hop? Well, it's because of the fact that we are the secret sauce. We are the greatness. That's it. And they need to find a way to tie into that greatness. There has been, tell me any of the technological greatness that's come out of Africa since we've been emancipated from slavery. Let's try to figure that out. Because I haven't seen none. What I have seen is foundational Black Americans innovating and creating everything. Foo-foo? Foo-foo? Hey, if they call that a technological great, then damn it, give them, isn't that just mashed corn? Don't they try to correlate foo-foo to cornbread? No. But I did see, cars. That came from us. Hell, even the airplane, the aviation systems and things like that, that's us. Trains, that's us. I mean, anything really industrial, you're going to see a foundational Black American behind the scenes. When you talk about the light fixtures, Louis Latimer, that's us. When you talk about architecture, infrastructure, that was us as well. So what have these people done in Africa since our emancipation that they can actually claim to be great? So now you see why they tried to attach it onto us, because they have no greatness. They have to mimic us. They have to now say, well, that came from us. How did you create hip hop when you mimic us in the first place? Hip hop is just a part of our cultural being. The way we walk, the way we talk, the way we do what we do, the way we speak. So you mimic us and then turn around and say that you created what we have created out of what you're mimicking? I got to pause for a second. I want to give the people in the back time to think about that. That's weird. It's asinine. It makes no sense. But for them, it's their way of staying relevant. That's all it is. It's their way of staying relevant because we are the relevance. Tell me the last time somebody has said, hey, have you seen what this African just did over there in Africa? He did A, B, and C, which is highly innovative. When was the last time you heard that, family? Go. And this isn't to denigrate or downplay anybody, but we're here to bring the truth to light. We're not here to play games with these peoples. We're not here to be your representation mule, and we're not here to allow you to lie on our names. Exactly, Aquarius. We are the culture. We are the culture. Around the world. Think about that, family. Not just in America, because they act. What's our culture? Our culture is the innovation all over the world. Everyone around the world pretends to be us. Y'all see those Asians in there doing those hip hop dances? There's a whole genre, K-pop in Asia, where they're trying to sound like R&B singers from our folks. I don't see anybody else doing that around the world. Except for white folk. I'm going to be honest with you. White folk, they be cosplaying Africans like a mother. I'm going to be honest. 100%. They'll go to Africa and the Africans will accept them. Oh, welcome home, my brother. Welcome home. They'll throw goddamn parades in the streets and they carry him on the shoulders. Oh, my brother came back home. Oh, yalla, yalla, yalla. My white creator came back home. Yalla, yalla. But when it comes to anybody else, the culture that they go for is our culture, foundational Black American culture. Let's be honest.
Is there a need to diminish or reduce African American culture to something that's not true? He then said, how is Black American culture different from Black Brits? It's the same thing. And I said, Black American culture, once again, developed here in isolation for 500 years, before the influx of black immigrants came. And then he was like, well, what about Creole people? I said, Creole people, Gullah Geechee people, Texas people, Texarkana, New York, California, the Midwest, all of those black cultures stem from one unified culture. Black Americans come from the South. And with the Great Migration, we went all over the country. And he said, well, it's not the same thing as Black Brits. They're all different, but they're all unified. Then this Negro said, well, we all eat plantains, so isn't that a unifying factor? And he wasn't budging. And it was weird because I'm like, how are you telling me about my culture? Then he brought up Marcus Garvey, these other Caribbean people that fought alongside Black Americans in the fight for freedom and, in the 60s and 70s. And I said, do you think that the fight for freedom in America started in the 60s and 70s or started with civil rights? I said, Black people in this country have fought for their rights and freedom since they were enslaved. And I'm like, whoa. And it just made me think, like, the term Black British didn't exist until 1960 or the 60s in England. And it's a blanket term that they gave all the various Black cultures in the UK. So all the people that are born now that are like first, second, third generation, they identify with being called Black British. But at home, they're Nigerian, they're Jamaican, they're Trini, they're Bayesian. So I think they're like, oh, well, Black British doesn't really mean much to us in the UK because we know where we're from. So Black American has to be the same. So you guys don't know where you're from because they call us Black British and we have a home, but they call you Black American and you don't have a home.
It's a very interesting take that this brother is saying. But I'm gonna have to say I don't think that that's the case. I respectfully have to disagree with what the brother's saying because I truly believe that they're doing that in a derogatory fashion. They're not just doing that because of their perception of how they see themselves in the UK or anything like that. They have a home to go back to or all this other stuff. I don't think that that's the case at all. I think that they're just literally being obtuse about the situation. They know exactly who we are. They know exactly what our heritage is, and their only response to it is, oh, but y'all don't know where y'all come from. I know where I come from. And the fact of the matter, they don't know where they come from. To be honest with you, we're the most detailed country in the world. We have the most records around the globe. And when I say they don't know where they come from, it's because a lot of their tribes and things like that has been remixed several times over. Not all of their tribes, like the Nigerians, Yoruba or whatever, they wasn't always in Nigeria. And over the decades, let's even go a century. Let's say a century. A lot of these people have moved around or been moved several times over. Remember, a lot of these places didn't become states until the 1900s. Let's be very clear about that. A lot of these people didn't have a nation before the 1900s, the 1940s to be more specific. So I as much as I appreciate what the brother's saying, it's giving, well, let me make an excuse for this person's ignorance or this person's bigotry or this person's xenophobia. That's what I'm getting. But let's let him continue.
And I'm like, I don't know why it's so hard for people to grasp, but it is one of those things where Black Americans are just disrespected, or they try to reduce the culture in America of Black Americans to nothing because white people are the majority in this country. And I said it time and time again, we are the only people, only America and Brazil are the two countries where Black people are the minority and we had to stay in the land of our oppressor. The difference between Brazil and America is everyone from the diaspora comes to America. Everyone lives in America. So we had to start movements like FBA or ADOS to to delineate from other people because you get disrespected in your own country, or people come to America and don't even understand why they have the right to vote, to buy a house, to have a bank account. It's nuts. I never thought in my life I would have to defend being Black American so bad, but people aren't willing to either hear me or just respect the culture, respect the history. And he was like, Marcus Garvey's not a part of Black culture. I'm like, no, he's a part of Black history in America because he, a Caribbean person, came to America and helped fight alongside of Black Americans in New York for freedom. But Black...
Notice, family, once again, that's always who they bring up, Marcus Garvey. And we have to tell these people time and time again, if you love Marcus Garvey so much, why couldn't he get it popping in Jamaica? Inquiring minds want to know.
American culture is not Caribbean culture. What a day I've had, man. What a day I've...
Family, these folks just clearly do not get it. They refuse to pick up what's on the table. They refuse to pick up what's on the table. It's all laid out. It's a beautiful spread. I made sure to make it a 5-course meal, and they'll walk in and look at the table and be like, no. Let me go ahead and I'm going to leave that there. I'm not too hungry. I don't want to feed my brain. I don't want the intelligence that you have just prepared for us. This is the people. These people want us so badly to be attached to them. Especially because of the fact that we are moving the needle on anything that we put our mind to. When we say something must change, oh, it's going to change. They don't have that power. They don't have the courage. They don't have the courage. Salute to the ears that hear the truth. I appreciate your Cash App, family, and your donation is blessed tenfold. They don't have the courage that we have. That's why they come up with all these derogatory names. That's why they come up with they speak in different languages when they're around us. They don't have the courage to say what's on their chest. Salute the FBA. Aisha, thank you for being here, family. And I believe Brother Reef jumped in as well. Salute to you, family. Thank you for being here. They don't have the courage to say what's on their chest. Salute to I Am Kiera. Thank you for being here, my sister. Appreciate you for being here. If they had the courage, they would just say it out loud. But they come up with all these derogatory words thinking, oh, they'll never know what it means. They'll never know what I'm saying. And we don't care about none of that. We'll say what's on our chest in front of the people who we're talking about. They don't do that. They do not do that whatsoever. I want to go over to this sister here. And this is one of my favorite content creators when it comes to foundational Black Americans, because my sister be going the hell off. And she does it unapologetically. And I love that. So salute to Call Me God and shout out to her. There's a couple of videos I'm going to use for her today. So just know you're going to get comfortable with her.
Now, see, honey, I don't even care to know what you said. All I'm going to say is the fact that y'all have to get in the huddles and create code words and everything like that and speak in languages that you know that we don't understand just shows just how pussy you are. I'm not even understanding the kiki, especially when men do it. Men don't do that, baby. Say what you want to, get it off your chest. You understand? But I always find this funny because we don't need any code words or to call you maneros or akatas or anything like that. Our response, we want you to hear it loud and clear. We want to make sure that we're using words that you understand. So if what you had to say was that important, get it off your chest. Don't speak in cold words, love. That's what pussies do. Where's your father? Where is your father? Is he around? Or did he decide to go to a new town? Is he one of them ones that left you back in one of them orphanage and decided to get him a new life in England? I'm just saying. Because every American father, black or white, makes sure to teach his son and his daughter to stand 10 toes. Yeah. Don't whisper, baby. Don't hide behind a language that can't be understood by somebody who don't care enough to understand. Say it with your chest, lame ass nigga. Now, see, honey, I don't.
Like I said, I love this queen. I love this sister because she's always on point. She's always on point. If you got something to say it with your chest. Why you got to say it in a different language? I mean, I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I like somebody if I don't. I'm not going to kiki and smile up in your face if I don't rock with you. If I don't rock with you, I'm not there. I'm not going to sit there and come up with words to say in front of you so you won't know what I'm saying. No. I want you to know how much disdain I have for you. I'm a Taurus. And I don't have time to mess around. It's a waste of my time. It's a waste of my energy. It's a waste of just everything of my being trying to pretend that I like somebody I don't like. But these folks, they will pretend to like you. They will pretend to love you. All to try to come around and tell you who the hell you are. And we're telling them, hell no. We are who we're meant to be. At the exact time we need to be. And they hate that. They hate that for us. They hate it for themselves. Let's go over to this sister here.
I really want y'all to stop doing this because y'all be doing this under the assumption that we as African Americans are ignorant to the history of Africa and that we don't have access to said history. And y'all feel like y'all do. But every time y'all do this, you display just how little you know about your own fucking continent. I said founded because the first African country was not founded until 1847. Africa was colonized sometime within the middle of the 1400s, right around 1440. That's when Africa began being colonized. South Africa specifically was colonized beginning around 1455 by the Portuguese. And it was not South Africa at that time. They landed on the land and named certain parts of the land capes. So your ancestors would not have been in South Africa in 1762. My ancestors would not have come from a country in 1762 because there were none on the continent. Furthermore, let us be clear. No one, certainly not me, is arguing that I don't have ancestry that comes from the continent of Africa. I'm very clear about that. However, because of the records that I have, I know that my earliest traceable relative in these Americas was here, born here in 1763. That has been over 262 years now. I think that's more than enough time to be accurate when saying that this is where I come from. This is where I was born. This is where my parents were born. This is where my grandparents were born. This is where their parents were born. This is where their grandparents were born. I have a history on these lands that traces back to 1763 on my Black side. I also have indigenous folks to these lands in my history who were here before the transatlantic slave trade. Before Lake Tom Bigby had a name. Before outside world knew them as the Choctaw people, knew them as the Cherokee people. So when African Americans say that we are from here, it is because we are not only acknowledging our African heritage, which most of us are not in denial about, we are also acknowledging all of the other people that contributed to our existence. I'm not just African. I'm very proud to be African. I recognize that to most people in the world, I present as African, and I don't have a problem when they call me African. That's why I call myself an African American. But I also know that I am American, indigenous. I am American, the descendant of immigrants. I am American, the descendant of people who were trafficked here through chattel slavery. Like, what the fuck? But I really want y'all to sit with yourselves and ask yourself, number one, why you don't ever have this kind of smoke for Afro-Caribbeans or Afro-Latinos. I also want you to sit and ask yourself, what does it benefit you to have all of this vitriol for African Americans when the people colonizing your country are Europeans? When the people within your country who control 80% of the wealth don't even come from there, why you worried about us? You got bigger fish to fucking fry. You got other things far more important to be worried about than what the fuck it is we doing, especially because we are simultaneously being oppressed by those people's cousins, the ones that landed over here. We fighting the same fight with the same fucking people. And instead of y'all being worried about them, y'all are worried about us. Why? When we didn't do jack shit to you. Quiet as is kept, a lot of the reason why South Africa is no longer under apartheid is because of the activism of African Americans like my mama. So what you mad at me for? I really want y'all to stop.
You know why they mad at you, sister? Because you know all that stuff you just said, you know that. And you know it for certain. See, they don't think that we know these things. They think that we're a dumb group. And that shows the ignorance of these people and the history of our people here in America, because we've always been raised to be 3 times smarter, 3 times better. And these folks can barely comprehend. A lot of these folks do not have good comprehensive listening skills. They don't have good listening skills. They don't have good comprehension. We can say one thing and they will literally turn it to something outlandish, something way out of bounds. And when we're telling them, no, this is exactly what we're saying right here, verbatim. They still don't hear it. They hear whatever they want to hear. When it comes to foundational Black Americans, we have no choice but to have good comprehensive skills. Whether listening, that's why whenever people think they can drop these little digs at us, we pick up on that really quick. Hey, homeboy, what you think? What you say? These people are surface level comprehenders. They don't even comprehend on the surface well. That's what it is. The small frontal lobe. You would think in such a big head, their brains would be a lot bigger. You would think with their big old heads that their brains would fit the head. But what you're telling me is like it's like a peanut binging around in there, huh? Salt shakers. Family. Family. Let's keep this real. Shout out to our sister Cooking with Miss D. Thank you for being here, family. Appreciate you. Let's keep this real. These folks have nothing. They have us, and that's all that, like, literally, they look at us as their accomplishment. They look at us as their accomplishment. We couldn't be foundational Black Americans without them. That's how they look at things. But the truth of the matter is, we wouldn't be foundational Black Americans if it wasn't for all the fire we went through in this country that made us the sword that we are today. It wasn't just one instance. That's what they be trying to do. They be trying to convince you that there's one reason that you are who you are. And it isn't. We have a distinct set of circumstances that forced us into the weapon we are today. And we're proud of it. We should be proud of it. We should be very, very unapologetic for our contributions in this land and around the world. So when we speak like this, that's literally the reason why they hate us, because they ain't us, and they can't claim to be the reason why we are the standard in Blackness around the globe. Don't nobody want to be a Black African. Let's take it out of just Blackness right now. Groups around the world. What is the number one culture that is used around the world, that is appropriated around the world? Is it African? Or is it Black American? Put it in the chat, please let me know. Show me an Asian who is practicing African culture. Show me a Mexican who's running around singing African hymns and trying to be African. Nom 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 way. No way. Show me the Mexican who's going around singing that. Nom nom way. Nom way. Crickets. Exactly. Because you ain't going to be able to find none. You ain't going to be able to find none. There is none. Foundational Black American culture is the dominant culture around the globe, and they can't stand that. And they can't stand that we have the bragging rights that they don't have. Y'all remember when I was speaking about the one woman who was sitting there saying, we don't teach our children to hate the white man and all this other stuff. They're mad because of the fact that we've taught and been taught to comprehend white supremacy, not just see it. To comprehend, understand, overstand, and understand the inner workings of white supremacy. RIP and shout out to our immortal family, Neely Fuller, who said it best. If you do not understand white supremacy, what it is and how it operates, everything that you think you know will confuse you. And these folks, they're highly confused. They want to put on the outfit of a foundational Black American, want to put on the culture of foundational Black Americans. But you know what they don't want to do? They don't want to pick up the comprehension skills of a foundational Black American. They don't want to understand white supremacy. They want to lay under it. Let's go here, family.
I want to address this post I seen about African American women. No, African women versus Black American women. First of all, it shouldn't be no damn division, period. And for the woman who got up and made this statement about, we don't teach our kids to hate the white man, I tried them blaming it on the white man and on slavery, and we're about success, and we're about whatever we are. Little bunny foo foo. If your ass ain't ever been to America, sit down and shut the fuck up. Because you don't know the struggles that we have had out here. And it's not about slavery. And no, we do not teach our kids to hate any damn body. We don't teach our children to hate white men or white people. Some of our kids have saw and endured some shit that's unbelievable. So if they have an opinion about a certain race, it's not because all of us have taught them that. For an example, when I was 10 years old, our doors got kicked in by the feds on Valentine's Day. Police came in with or SWAT team came in with big guns and pointed at me, my sister, and my brother and made us sit down in a corner. They pointed guns at us, and we are kids. And the reason why they kicked our door open is because my mom was a property manager. One of her tenants got arrested, had a baby. They handcuffed the woman to the bed. My mom went up to the hospital and got that baby because she didn't want no one to take it. The woman got out. She got the baby back. And 2 weeks later, our home got raided. My mom was a fucking property manager because my mom was helping somebody else. We ended up in foster care that year. You don't know what you're talking about. Just like at 10 years old or 11, we had a Martin Luther King parade downtown Denver. Do you know who came in on there? The fucking KKK. They marched in on our Martin Luther King parade, a time when we were trying to celebrate peace, trying to celebrate unity. So everyone's not mad at white people about slavery, and everyone's not hateful towards all white people. Some people are upset because they're still seeing the injustice. They're still seeing the abuse. And you're talking about we raised them on excellence and success and all that. Do you know what it's like for someone to be falsely accused of a crime and they get out of jail knowing that someone they know they're falsely accused, but they still don't take that felony off their record? Do you know they can't get jobs? They really can't get jobs. They can't get homes. You don't know the system that was built by racist, prejudiced white people that we are still under. Our president is an open face of that whole system. He represents the whole thing. He's bold enough to show the world, hey, this is what we do and this is what we've been doing. Like he's open with it. Everyone else been behind closed doors. And all this we don't claim you kind of crap. You don't have to claim us. But don't you stereotype every person when you haven't been through what they've been through. See, one of my forefathers was an Irish man. And he married a slave woman and had 12 kids with her. He was a wealthy man in North Carolina. They took his land, ran him out of there. Texas, same thing. He was the first one to free slaves in the state of Kansas City. His name is Colonel Wiley Pope. So don't get up here and talk about everyone hate white people. Do you know what it's like to get a surgery? See, I had back surgery when I was 13. I got metal in my damn spine. They messed my surgery up. I can't sue them. I wasn't trying to. But you think I can get disability because I can't work a full-time job? I can't do something part-time? Like, before you get up and talk about black women and black American women, you need to know their damn struggles because you don't have that. You know how many women are missing family and how many kids are missing fathers because of prejudiceness, because of racism? True enough, within our own environment, we need to get it together. We can't be killing each other. But I'm telling you, these people are doing what they were taught to do. There are people who are millionaires who are in the business of entertainment and everything who specifically said they signed contracts. They can't even help people. They have to spend that money on what them people want them to. We're tired of those kind of systems. There's a lot of entrepreneurs here. When you're talking about success, there's some talented, successful entrepreneurs, but oh, when it comes to them getting a loan, you ever seen somebody burn their damn business down? Anyone burn down your people's business? Do you get denied for the things you need to start your business? Do you get turned away? Yeah, I got a son who just graduated college. He graduated college last year. It took him months to even get a job. Did no one want to hire him? Oh, you're too overqualified. No, that's another way of saying, you're too black. He's just now being able to get a full-time job. I got a
Salute to Drew. Thank you for your Cash App, family. Your donation is much appreciated and blessed tenfold. Also, salute to Maxwell Jenkins. I appreciate you for being here, family. Family, how many of us have the same kind of story? How many of us have family members who have the same kind of story, especially the part where she was speaking about the police kicking in her door? That personally happened to me when I was a child. Well, I was in my teens. I was about 13, 14. Just because the police saw me and my cousins walking, and during the time, my house had my front door was in my backyard. So you would have to walk through the driveway in order to get to the front door. And because they saw us walking to the back of the house, the police thought that we were trying to steal or break into the house. And they literally drew their weapons on me and my cousins. And my little sister opened the door to see what was going on. And she was like 5 years younger than me at the time. So she was like 8, 9, something like that. And they put the gun on her and told her to come out. I told her to close the door back, and they literally pushed the door open and forced her out of the house. This is what they do to our children all the damn time. So when these people come over here talking that nonsense about we teaching our children to hate the Nabisco community, we ain't got to teach them what they already see. We don't have to teach them what they see on the average. They know it's not normal. They know that no one else gets treated the way we get treated. This isn't something we make up. So no, we don't have to raise our children to hate anybody who's a Nabisco or part of that community. They make their own decisions when they get old enough to understand what these people have done and continue to do to us. You don't think that police officer that slammed that 13-year-old black girl on the floor is going to be looked at as a villain by that black girl, which in turns now make her look at other folks like him? When a child is defending themselves and then gets put, get charges put on them, you don't think the children see that? So I 100% agree with the notion we don't raise our children to hate anybody. We raise our children to understand the white supremacist system. But when it comes down to people choosing to dislike somebody, that's a choice they've made. And 9 times out of the 10, it's due to trauma that happened to them when they were a kid. Exactly, Damon. PTSD don't have nothing on FBA. Just think about our history in this country. There is no other group in this country that can even come close to talking about PTSD when it comes to us. I don't care how many wars you've been to. We're at war every single day. Our war is a never-ending war. Let's let this sister continue.
Another son is 18 that's in college. I have an honor roll student. She's in the 8th grade and they're sending her scholarship information. What you talking about? We don't teach our kids success. The hell you talking about? Don't you get on there and try to judge everyone. What you do say is, hey, some of y'all seem like, because you don't live here, you're not from here, you probably never been to America. That's why you can get on there and talk all that stuff. I like Africans, some Africans. Not the mean ones that got a problem with us because we wear makeup and we wear weave and we different. We built our own culture. We had everything stripped from us. I'm telling you, we are trendsetters. Would nobody be having protests if our peoples didn't have a protest? And these are peaceful protests that we're having. What I'm saying is, I like some African people. I love their colors. I love their culture. I love their hair. I like the way some of them cook. I love watching their videos, their movies, their weddings. Like I've never looked at myself as a Black woman and / African American woman. To me, we the same. But if someone else feel like that, who give a damn? I don't care. Just like I got Irish in my blood, I might as well say I'm Irish too. Okay. But for someone to get on here and say some ignorant ass shit, that's what pissed me off. Because what if I stereotyped all African women? What if I said all of y'all get y'all ass beat? Don't none of y'all go to school? Y'all sacrifice fucking kids. Everyone do voodoo. Everyone do hoodoo. Everyone eat people. What if I took some stereotype shit and threw that on everyone? Yeah, that's what I know for Africa. How many wars do y'all have? I've watched documentaries of kids being sacrificed. But you don't come after everybody because that's what some people do. And as far as this go, they claim about the white men and what the white men do. If you ain't never been hurt by a white man, if ain't nobody snatched your damn kids up and put you in foster home and put you in no system, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Put you in a goddamn foster home where they abuse you too. These are systems that white people built for us, for a lot of people. And pay attention to something else. The president just had a meeting. President Trump had a meeting with the president of El Salvador where they illegally sent a Hispanic man. They picked that man up after they had a court order not to deport him and deported that man straight to a goddamn prison with no charges or nothing on him.
Okay. All right. I got to stop the sister there because I'm tired of the lies. I am tired of the lies. The man that did, and I didn't know she was going to say this part here, but the man that she's speaking about, the illegal that she's speaking about, Trump's had every right to deport him. He already had a deportation order on him. The man came here in like 2012 or something like that as a teenager and partook in many illegal crimes. The dude was literally caught up human trafficking people. He was caught human trafficking people. Then when he got caught, he went to the dang judge to try to claim asylum and say, well, you know, the 18th Street gang is messing with my family down in El Salvador. Because of the fact that he had passed the limitation, the judge had to deny his asylum claim. But what the judge did was put an order that says that he just could not be deported to El Salvador. So I want to make sure everybody knows that man is not a citizen. His wife, I don't even believe she's a citizen because she don't speak a lick of English. And all the things that the mainstream media, the lamestream media has been putting out has been interpretations of what the wife has said. But when you read what the wife actually says, she don't say that he's not a criminal. She don't say that he's not a part of the MS-13, the Trade de la Agua, or whatever the hell he was a part of. I believe it was MS-13. The man has tattoos showing his gang affiliations. So let's be very clear on that. I did not mean to go there today. I had a whole different video to talk about that man. But that's why they keep calling him a Maryland man, the Maryland citizen. He is not a citizen. He is not a Maryland man. He is an El Salvadorian illegal who got deported back to El Salvador, where he came from. Yeah, he was even charged with beating his wife. And the reason why she's changing her tune, she got a GoFundMe, ladies and gentlemen. That GoFundMe got a little over 300,000 in it to quote unquote bring back her husband. Let's be very clear about that. But we'll talk about that at another time on another day. Let's get back to these Africans, because for the most part, what our sister was saying is correct until she got into this damn we are the world situation where she wanted to talk about this dude who isn't a citizen being deported. Now, here's the thing for me. I don't like Trump either. But I'm not going to sit here and tell blatant goddamn lies. It's a blatant damn lie. And I'm not going to sit here just because I don't like somebody, push a narrative that favors the Democratic Party just because I don't like Trump. That's ridiculous. I don't have any permanent friends. I have permanent interest. And that's what Black Americans have, a permanent interest. We don't have any permanent friends. But I digress. Because of us being who we are unapologetically, because of us rocking the way we rock, standing on our square, standing on business the way we stand on business, there's this misconception that there's a diaspora war going on. And family, there's no diaspora war. Let me be the first to tell you, if nobody else have said this, there isn't a diaspora war. We don't care about these people. When we did, these people treated us and continue to treat us in the manner in which we said, okay, F you, goodbye. After which, we stopped caring about these people. We stopped talking about them, but they can't get us off their mind. We live rent-free in their minds. So, to all my African brothers and sisters who think that there is a diaspora war going on, I want to play this for you because I want you to understand that no, there isn't. Let's go here.
Don't ever in your life think that we out here beefing, because I don't give a fuck about what you're doing. I don't give a fuck about what you're doing. Blessings on your journey, but I don't give a fuck about what you're doing. Don't ever in your life think that we out here beefing, because I don't give a fuck about what you're doing. I don't give a fuck about what you're doing. Blessings on your journey, but I don't give a fuck about what you're doing. Don't ever.
It's that simple, family. Shout out and salute to KG. Thank you for being here, family. It's that damn simple. There is no diaspora wars. We're not going around just denigrating people just to do it. We're not talking stuff about people just to talk stuff. It's always in response to someone who has something to say about business that is not even theirs. Why aren't you minding the business that pays you? Why are we so important in your life to where everything that you talk and breathe about has to be about foundational Black Americans? We get up, we go to work or school, we come home, we chill with our families, we eat, go to sleep, wake up, wash our ass, and do it all again. But these folks don't do that. These folks, they get up, first thing they do, what is FBA doing? Let me look and see. What is FBA talking about today? Let me look and see. This is all they do. So when you're looking at a diaspora war, you can't have a war when one side ain't even paying attention to the other. Oh yeah, okay. It's going to make us I guarantee we're going to be the villain 100%. Family, I want to go here. I want to go here because our sister sums this up so well.
There is no such thing as diaspora wars. Everybody that's Black in the world just hate on Black Americans. That's it. They look on TikTok and they got information from their government or whatever, and they just want to talk about us. That's it, and think they better than us. We the main character. We don't give a fuck. We literally don't even know nothing about none of y'all, and y'all always coming for us. But at the same time, always wanting to be like us. It's just crazy. Rapping? What are y'all rapping for? Even the way they wear their wigs. Oh, wigs came from here. Yeah, you didn't wear them like us. We don't even do nothing y'all do, but y'all always copy us. Keep on learning about us. Well, never ever come here, and if you do, you still hate when you get here. And we still will never know nothing about y'all. It's amazing how we really don't care about nothing y'all got going on. Keep hating, so y'all the only ones at war. There's no such thing as diaspora wars. Everybody that's Black in the world just hate on Black Americans. That's it. They
instead of vampires, it's going to be Ghanaians. I can see that. I can see that. Do not invite them into your huts. Don't invite them into your huts. Family, when we say that we don't care, we literally do not care. And it's sad that we have to continuously beat the drum and let these people know how much we don't care. We don't have to punch down. If only y'all would just leave us the hell alone, take our names out of your mouth and keep it out of your mouth. Pause. Then foundational Black Americans would be buddy with everybody. If you mind the business that paid you, we would be cool. But for some reason, These entitled people, see, that's one thing that we have done that I do have to address, family. We have been so loving and too loving to the point where all these folks feel entitled to us in everything that we do. No matter what we're talking about, they feel entitled to be included. I call it white woman syndrome. Because white women always wanted to be included in something. Even when they know damn well it has nothing to do with them. You shouldn't be here. This is just for us. They want to be included and they want to say in every damn thing. And we're telling them hell damn no. And they're hating it. And all of a sudden, because we're telling them hell to the damn no, they framing it as a diaspora war. Exactly. Pick me. Pick me. Let's call it for what the hell it really is. Yeah, you're right. Just call it white syndrome, period. White people syndrome. Because it is just really W's all day. Man or woman. You're right. You're correct on that, sister. Let's go back to our sister here. Like I said, you're going to get very acquainted with this sister.
See, this is what I don't like that y'all do. You feel what I'm saying? Y'all continuously try to push this narrative as if there was actual diaspora. You feel what I'm saying? All of this, this argument, this is just what they needed. We've never been a we. Stop with the we. We've never been a we. Weren't a we when y'all came over in the 60s when it was still white only and black only places. And y'all were let into white only places, not even speaking English, walking in with turbans, as they actually took the time out to teach y'all English. We were not a we. When y'all came over and we greeted y'all, how you doing, brother? How you doing there, sister? And was ignored as y'all walked into the whites only spaces. We were never a we. And every single time the Black Americans discuss anything about government, we are always told about white people. What's wrong with you? When are y'all going to stop trying to manipulate us using race tactics when we talk about our government? Because it's not white people that are blocking reparations. It's not white governments that are governmental officials that are blocking reparations. It is American-born Black immigrants that are saying out of their mouths why, when it was exposed that Republicans put reparations on the board and that Democrats voted against it, on why? Because it's people that have Jamaican fathers and Panamanian mothers have said out their own mouths. They understand that they won't benefit. So the white power structure is not our problem when it comes to reparations or anything else that we're hindered against, to be honest. Because anything that is openly beneficial by you being a Black, other, or a person of color is not hindered. Have a nice day. See, this is what I don't like.
Family, when I say this sister be cooking, she be cooking. Because there is no lie told in anything that she said. At all. All this we stuff, it was never a we. The only time it was ever a we is when we as foundational Black Americans was pushing the we. And now that we stop pushing the we, here comes everybody and their mama talking about, wait a second, what about we? What about we? No, we. Don't you remember it's about we? And they don't like it now that we're walking around pulling the Uncle Phil.
We? We.
They don't like it. And so now they're finding ways to showcase their hatred, their disdain for foundational Black Americans. And anything that they do, let me rephrase that. Anything that they see that we do, they try to frame it around themselves. I know you all have seen the back and forth with the South Africans about the Zulu situation at the Mardi Gras and all this other stuff. And instead of actually educating their damn selves, excuse me, they turned that into a situation. But I want to say this. If they have such a problem with the people in New Orleans dressing up like the Zulu, then y'all need to go and talk to your elders. Because I remember growing up back in the 90s, some of those Zulu elders came over and participated in the Mardi Gras. So if you don't like what's happening, you're going to have to go and talk to those elders of yours. Because they didn't have a problem whatsoever. They actually was honored to participate. But these folks didn't do any research of why it exists, how it became. They use it as an excuse to disrespect foundational Black Americans and to show their hatred and bigotry towards us, the xenophobia towards us. Let's go here, family. I want to give a salute and a shout out to this brother here. And this is what we can rock with. You see, an ally, if you want to be an ally, you're not going to allow people in your group to do and say nonsense. You're going to come out and speak for what's right because it's right. Let's let this brother speak here.
Okay, so I'm gonna have to put my own people, my own South African people on game here because it seems as if they are so clueless. There's a historical amnesia when it comes to us as a people. So this right here is John Langalibalele Dube. You can see the date where he was born. John Langalibalele Dube is the founding father, one of the founding fathers of the SANNC, the South African Native National Congress. You guys know it as the ANC. And John was influenced by this man right here, Booker Taliaferro Washington, who wrote the book Up from Slavery following the Emancipation Proclamation in 1865. And here you have it right here. Dube enrolled in the Oberlin Preparatory Academy at the age of 16, the son of one of the first ordained pastors of the American Zulu Nationals. Right here, he went to Ohio. He studied in Ohio. Your founding father of the ANC that you all love very much, Nelson Mandela, Chief Albert Luthuli, Oliver Tambo, the founding father studied in Ohio, and he got training skills from African Americans. The Zulu Christian Industrial School was later renamed Ohlange Institute. Where does the Ohlange Institute? The American Tuskegee program, which directly, not indirectly, directly influenced John Langalibalele Dube. Here's the proof. Ohlange High School was founded in 1900 after John Langalibalele Dube went to America asking Black Americans for money, asking them for money so he can fund and get the school running because he was inspired. This text right here, one of the most important texts, I'd even say, even for us as South Africans, we got to read this text because this guy talks about how Black people can now industrialize coming out of slavery. And if you know your history, you'd know that Black Americans were the most technically, technologically advanced Black people at the time. We were still living in huts when they were driving automobiles. We were still using spears and shields when these guys were fixing electricity circuits. They were doing the Tulsa, Oklahoma in 1921, the richest Black community in the world at that time, while we were in mines mining for whites. Okay, so get your facts straight, guys. Let's not hate these people. These people taught us so much. vocational skills, reading and arithmetic, getting us into civilization, because the technological gap between us and Abelungu was just so wide. So wide. Abelungu were just so far ahead of us. Now these guys were giving us some assists, trying to be like, hey, John Dube, do this, do this. John Dube's talking to Booker T. He's like, hey, man, look, I need my people to be a little bit industrialized here. I need them to go to school. I need them to be skilled. I need them to know how to speak English. And this guy was like, okay, I got you. Here, do this, do this, do this. Come on, guys. You guys need to really start reading, pick up a book every now and then. Stop hopping on TikTok and getting in your feelings. Jeez, like it. Okay, so I'm going to have to put...
Salute to that brother, because like I said, that's what trying to be an ally looks like. Now, I don't know if he's truly an ally. You know, one video don't change nothing, but still, I appreciate him putting out that video and correcting the narrative. That's exactly what needs to be done. And it needs to be done by them, because they obviously don't want to hear us do it. Salute and shout out to our brother Brandon Dumas. Thank you for being here, family. They obviously don't want us to do it. So the people who know need to be going into their own communities and actually giving this information out, because we've been saying this for the longest. Exactly. That's exactly what they need to do. More reading, less social media. Absolutely. Social media has given these people a platform to say the things they would never say in our faces. Let's be very clear about that. Let's be very clear about that. Social media has given them the leeway to say things and do things that they would never do in our presence, because they know they would get checked. Being very highly ignorant is not a reason not to get your ass whooped. Let me just say that very, very clear. It isn't. Shout out to Image Imagine. Thank you for being here, family. Let's go here.
Last week, I asked a genuine question, and that was if South Africans are okay. I quickly learned that they're not okay. South Africans are now claiming that they started hip-hop. Hip-hop that started out of funk and soul, two African-American cultural music inventions in America. They clearly all come from the same school of delusion as J-Lo.
Family. So now, okay. So now the South Africans are claiming they started hip-hop. They created hip-hop. They don't want us to run around in the Zulu get up, to do the Zulu representation at the Mardi Gras, but yet they want to claim that they created something like hip-hop that is distinctly a part of foundational Black American culture. And yeah, I agree with him. They are very delusional, just as delusional, maybe more delusional than J-Lo, thinking she can sing like Whitney. Let's let them continue.
Rap music is from South Africa, not New York City. It's from the Ngqosa community in South Africa.
Which one is it? Do we not have any connection to South Africa per the Zulu parade, which you guys all told us we're not from South Africa? Or is it that African Americans created rap because we were influenced by South Africans, which didn't exist in America because we're from West Africa? Which one? And based on the style that you're saying that it derived from, it's way two different art forms, two different things that are done and have no connection. But you guys are trying to claim it now. Do you see how delusional that is? Actively screaming from the rooftops that Black Americans have no culture and that all of our culture is ghetto, while you're participating and actively using our culture at home in South Africa. Wow. The cognitive dissonance you guys possess needs to be studied.
Wow, the pressure is getting worse.
I got rings, watches, chains to fit on. First I got slept on.
As I said, I'm here to do my own shit. I'm looking too fly right now. Can't even talk to you, my nigga. I'm wearing Gucci right now.
Cosplaying Black Americans, cosplaying Black American accents, cosplaying Black American music, all while talking about Black Americans online is literally the biggest form of delusion. This whole exchange has showed me that there is something deeper going on with the Black South African population and their feelings towards African Americans, Black Americans, because the way they're dragging this out is not even warranted. It's to a point. It gets to a point where it's like, y'all have some internal issues you need to deal with when it comes to us. I came across this post on TikTok, which is a very, very popular post amongst the South Africans right now talking about Americans, where it says people in South Africa equals South Africans, Black people in South Africa equals South Africans, white people in America equal Americans, and Black people in America equal Black Americans. I've never seen a group of people ride so hard for their colonizers. It's like you all have a Stockholm syndrome, because while you're doing that, you need to worry about how the minority of your country, who are all foreigners and settlers, control 80% of the wealth in your country, and you guys don't have any control over the resources in your own country. Your team that went to go represent you in the Africa Games looked like this.
Yup.
While America is represented by Black people, of which we are a minority, 13%, but we overwhelmingly make up who represents the country. Do with that information what you will. You guys need to really get a grip on education, because you love throwing out things like your education is bad when you guys don't know anything. You don't know what you're talking about at all. And word of advice, if you're going to try to insult African Americans, please know that by throwing out stereotypical things that white people say about us, it's not going to hurt our feelings. Like, your jokes are not funny, your digs are not funny, and then you don't know what you're talking about. That is like a trifecta for ignorance. I don't know, man. Y'all got it. If this thing is crazy. I saw that video. You started hip hop? Fuck out of here, man. Fuck out of here. Last week I asked.
Salute to the family, man. Like I said, these people, they just want so bad to be a part of whatever we're doing, but they don't want us to have anything to do with whatever they're doing. They seen this Zulu thing as a way to cuss us out and everything else, and now they're trying to claim hip hop. Ain't that interesting? And notice, the same thing that Busta Rhymes did, the same thing that Fat Joe did, it's the same thing that the Africans are doing. Different areas within Africa are now claiming that they created hip hop, started from clicks, started from this, started from that. South Africa is now doing the same thing. I'm not surprised, because tethers are going to tether. But family, what I want you to do, I want you to guard your peace. Because these people would never say that to you in person. They would never sit here and denigrate or disrespect your culture in person. They do it online. So you know what you do, family? You block them. You block these folks, because all they're looking for is attention. That's all they're looking for. I want to go over to this brother.
To the booty scratcher people that just won't take no for an answer, and they think that they can dictate what goes on in another country when they got their own minstrel shows over there, and they do what the fuck they do over there, and they got people colonizing their neighborhoods and so on and so forth. Block those people. Have your fun. Whenever you get done doing what you all doing, block them all. Block them, please. Block them. Block those people. Block the booty scratcher people. Block them, please. Block them. That's the word of the day. Block them all, please. Block them. Block the booty scratcher people that are looking for attention and think that they're educating people when they're not. They need to be blocked. You're not going to get your 5 minutes of fame over here. Block they asses, please. To the booty scratcher people that just won't take no for an answer, and they think that they can dictate what goes on in another country when they got their own minstrel shows over there, and they do what the fuck they do over there, and they got people colonizing their neighborhoods and so on and so forth. Block those people. Have your fun. Whenever you get done doing what you all doing, block them all. Block them, please. Block them. Block those people. Block the booty scratcher people. Block them, please. Block them. That's the word of the day. Block them all, please. Block them. Block the booty scratcher people that are looking for attention and think that they're educating people when they're not. They need to be blocked. You're not going to get your 5 minutes of fame over here. Block they asses, please. To the booty scratcher people.
I played that a couple times because, you know, for the people in the back, you know, we don't care. We really don't care. For now on, and someone put it in the chat. Let me go here. Let me see. Because basically these people come with bad faith arguments. They don't have any genuine arguments. There we go. Shout out to Angelic. Their arguments are all in bad faith. So basically, you'll just be hitting your head against the wall, stressing yourself out, getting your blood pressure higher than it needs to be. Just block the folk. After you done roasted them, put them in the pan, make sure you hit that block button. I want to go to another tether. I want to go to another tether because since we've been standing on our square, since we've been so unapologetic about who we are as foundational Black Americans, you're seeing all these people coming out expecting us to be a people who represents them. When we told everybody to hold their own nuts, that's what we meant. That's what we meant. And it's funny that when we stop being buddy-buddy and all this other stuff, now everybody wants to come along and ask, well, why aren't you representing us? In case you haven't seen it, family, you need to go see the movie Sinners. It was a very good movie. It was a very good movie. So many things to break down. However, we're not going to do that here today. What I would like to talk about is the fact that there is this Mexican man named Matthew running around, and he's upset because there was no Mexican representation in the movie. Let's go here. Let's go here, family.
I love the movie Sinners, but ... Part 1. There will be spoilers. I love the movie Sinners, but it's literally the plot of From Dusk Till Dawn. Two criminal brothers head down south to start new lives. While down south, they are trapped in a building that's in the middle of nowhere, and they find themselves surrounded by vampires. One of the brothers is seduced by a beautiful vampire temptress and gets turned into a vampire.
All right, first and foremost, family, I'm going to restart what he's saying here, but I have to address something.
But I love the movie.
From Dusk to Dawn is literally an all-white cast movie. And the two brothers were actually from the South. They didn't go to the South to start a new life. They were from the town that they went back to. That's why when their cousin was asking them about Chicago, they said that it was nothing but the Mississippi in the north. So off vert, this man don't know what the hell he's talking about. But let's let him continue.
Sinners, but ... Part 1. There will be spoilers. I love the movie Sinners, but it's literally the plot of From Dusk Till Dawn. Two criminal brothers head down south to start new lives. While down south, they are trapped in a building that's in the middle of nowhere, and they find themselves surrounded by vampires. One of the brothers is seduced by a beautiful vampire temptress and gets turned into a vampire. The other brother, who's a straight shooter, leads a group of survivors to survive the night until dawn. And throughout the movie, we have discussions about religion, faith, and family. In the final climactic battle of this movie, there's a huge fight between the survivors and the vampires. The Asian character in this movie sacrifices himself to protect their family. One of the characters in this movie who is turned begs their loved one to end their life, and with tears in their eyes, they do. And after killing all the vampires via sunlight, the only two survivors are the brother and the hopeful youth. The hopeful youth whose father was a preacher. I feel like I'm taking crazy pills here because I follow people in the horror community. No one's talking about this. It's insane. There is one fucking movie that Sinners owes everything to, and it's not fucking Puss in Boots. It's goddamn From Dusk Till Dawn. And like, I'm not saying Nosferatu, Dracula, Sinners, From Dusk Till Dawn, but I will say that Ryan Coogler needs to firmly address that he was inspired by a Latin American vampire movie because we are owed our flowers. Also, Ryan, I saw that tamale story you put in the movie. Where's the fucking Latino extras? Come on, Ryan, you're so good at putting Latinos in your movie. What the fuck happened here? You don't put Latinos in the movie and you steal from the biggest Latino vampire movie? Come on, man, that's a bad look.
I don't think this guy liked this movie at all. I think he might be a racist.
Loving something does not excuse you turning a blind eye to its flaws. Acknowledging and discussing the flaws of something you love is healthy and leads to a better relationship. Hope you're into the video, everyone. Tune in tomorrow. We're going to be talking about how the vampires in the movie Sinners don't make any fucking sense. Have a magical day, everyone.
Family, they're owed their flowers. They're owed their flowers. Why, when Black Americans, foundational Black Americans, create something that's magical, someone else from some other community now feels like they deserve to be represented in that? It doesn't matter what it is, whether it's movies. He sound like the same Mexican dude that was running around here mad that Kendrick Lamar didn't have Mexican representation at the Juneteenth concert. That's what he sounds like. And I'm reading the chats, family. I get it. I feel exactly what you're saying. He ain't owed the damn thing. I wouldn't even say he's owed tostadas. I'm going to be honest with you. He ain't owed a taco. He ain't owed enchiladas. Only thing that's owed to these people is a smooth shut the F up. Just shut the F up. Exactly. You goofball. I was about to say something way meaner, but goofball fits perfectly. Thank you, my sister. And that's the thing too. And good point. If it doesn't make sense, why is the Latino community upset? It's because it's the biggest movie out right now. It's the biggest movie out. And they feel like, and he mentioned this before, he mentions that he actually had Mexican representation in his last movie, which was I don't know if it was his last movie, but you know, with Marvel and got dang Black Panther. He didn't have to make Namor Mexican at all. Namor could have been a white dude. Like he is in the comics, white, Asian, something like that. But it was Ryan who said, you know what, no, I'm going to go ahead and give some representation to my Mexican brothers and sisters. And people was complaining about that representation, talking about his parts in the movie were too short and all this other nonsense. Every time we do something, they want us to represent them as if they're us, but yet they don't want to represent us as if we're them. What does that mean? When we're out here fighting for reparations and everything else, they're some of the loudest people too. In the room, who's the opposition. When we're sitting there fighting against the police, they're the opposition as well. Trying to get a pat on the head from the white folk. No matter what we're talking about, these folks, they're in opposition of it. But as soon as they started getting deported, oh, where are all the blacks? Why aren't the blacks out here helping? They want us to represent them as if we're a part of them. But when it comes to us, they look at us as just mules. Let's be very clear about that. Let's take it back here to my sister.
Nothing is more apparent that y'all are blood-sucking leeches who can shapeshift into whoever they're supposed to be to get what they can gain. The fact that it took less than 365 days for y'all to go from being generations of I know black, I Haitian, I know black, I African, to I'm black, we're all black, now everybody's black. And see, y'all understand exactly what y'all are doing, trying to gaslight us into believing that y'all don't understand this based on melanin. When y'all understand that in America, black is not only a race identity, but it is also our culture identity. Y'all know exactly what y'all are doing. Shapeshifters. You feel what I'm saying? But what do you expect from people who sold their own people on their own motherfucking land? What do you expect from these motherfuckers who want us to believe that in the Atlantic Ocean that exists today, the murky water, somehow, some way, on them wooden boats, they went back and forth and was bringing, you know what I'm saying? See, we not slow enough to believe this, and they not slow enough to believe this.
Family, this part was supposed to go in the different segment, but since we're here, we're going to let her finish before we jump off into the next video clip.
They are pushing this. Pushing narratives that they benefit from. You shape-shifting, y'all are fire-breathing demons. For real. For real. Y'all done went from trying to push our identity onto a whole group of people to trying to take these people's whole identity. Nothing is going to work. Y'all are trying to figure out where can you fit in to Black America. Because it's clear that they're not going to fight for nobody. It's clear that they ain't going to back up nobody. So where can we squeeze on in? It ain't no, you can't do it, love. You can't do it. I don't know what about, we keep paperwork around here. The one thing about Black Americans, white Americans, one thing we like is facts. No matter what lies are pushed to the public, we know the facts because we keep records. It don't matter that y'all want to be black now out y'all mouth. Y'all want to be us now out y'all mouth. We got the paperwork. You still ain't gonna be able to cosplay us no matter how much y'all want to, no matter how much y'all want to. We all black, that's fine. That paper said you African, baby. I don't know what to tell you. Nothing is more apparent that y'all are.
That was supposed to go in the last segment, family, but no lies detected there at all. But let's jump into the reactions of, people who saw this dude here and heard his take. Unpopular opinion, quote unquote. Uh-oh. 1 second, family. One is the loneliest number.
It's so funny that these Hispanics are talking about some, oh, well, where were we? Bitch. Bitch, you were there. As white people. Remember that? 1932 was the year, bitch. 1930, your ass was marching to be white. Crying, fighting to be a cracker. So, yeah, that's where you were. Trust me, bitch. On the other side, you weren't with us, and you definitely weren't with the Asians.
Look, these people be having short-term memories, especially who I'm talking about, the Latino and Hispanic community. Because look, it took a Black American man and it took a Black American organization to recognize the brown people in y'all community. The brown people, not the lighter shade of brown, the brown people, because y'all do a poor job at representing brown and Afro, Latino and Afro Mexican people in your community. There's no representation at all. And this wasn't just any type of representation. This was like A1. While your own people, bro, everybody keep on putting from dusk to dawn. Robert Rodriguez, bro, he painted the white people as the savior and the Hispanic people as the villains. Y'all was the evil ones in your own movie. And I know what it is. Y'all heavy on that. Mihara La Raza and Blanquimento. I hope I said that right, but when it's all said and done, it's this whitening. When the last time y'all ever seen a Latino or Hispanic organization hand out an award to a Black American? When the last time that happened? Y'all make up 20% of the population in America. Lord knows how many numbers y'all make up in Latin America. It's just totally unacceptable how y'all do the brown people and the Black people in y'all community. And when it comes to the Black American community, all y'all do is take. It's never reciprocated. Look, these people be having short-term memories, especially who I'm talking.
That's facts. My whole thing is this. Why do you look to us to give you representation? Why? When foundational Black Americans didn't have any good representation on TV, you know what we did? We put together good representation and put it on TV. That's just what it is. Why in the world do Latinos, Hispanics, or anybody else think that because we did something, we have to give representation to all people? I tell you, family, as foundational Black Americans, we have spoiled people because these people have become entitled. They feel like they're entitled to everything we do. They literally feel like they're entitled to all of our spaces. When we're talking about reparations, then here come Latinos talking about, well, we should get reparations too. What the hell do you get reparations for? Well, America used to be our land. There, Texas, California, New Mexico, Arizona. Okay, America bought all of those states. So who are you mad at? Who are you really mad at? You can't be mad at us. America made a purchase. Go cry to your government. But these folks really think that they should get reparations because we're talking about reparations. They really think that every time we do a Black movie with an all-Black cast, there should be Mexican representation. And I said this before, everybody who's running around preaching that Black and brown nonsense, you're putting the target on your people back. That's all you're doing. You're putting the target on your children's back. You're putting the target on your people's back because all you're doing is giving them cover for all the nonsense that they do. Let's go here, family.
Why are other groups of people always demanding that Black people be the representation for their group? I saw Raheem say that, I think that's his name, and I thought that was so powerful when a lot of these people who are speaking are anti-Black racists themselves, but whenever something goes good that we're happy about, that we're talking about, that we're represented in, that is for us, by us, you always have other groups of people coming in saying, well, why weren't Hispanics in there? Well, why weren't white people in there? And why weren't these people in there? And when he said that, that shit touched me. When he said, why are other groups of people always demanding that Black people represent their group when you can do the same thing that these Black creators are doing? Why don't you be the representation for your own group and stop worrying about why Black people aren't representing for you? It's not our job to do that. And to be honest with you, a lot of you are racist and anti-Black anyway. We're not even represented in your art, nor do Black people demand that we be represented in your art that you're talking about for your people. Now, Matthew Torres missed the mark when he said that Ryan Coogler completely ripped off
From Dusk Till Dawn, and didn't give any homage or pay any homage to the influence that the movie had on his movie Sinners. But if you look at some of the interviews that he did, if you just do a little bit of research, Torres, you would see that he said he was inspired by the movie. So what's the problem? Why are other groups of people always demanding that Black people be the representation for their group? I saw Raheem say that. I think.
So even Ryan Coogler has already came out and said, like, yeah, you know, I was inspired by Dusk Till Dawn and all this other crap. So why the hell, like she said, what's the problem? What's the real problem? There is no real problem. The problem is that you don't like us being so pro-Black. The same thing with white folks. They don't like it when we're so pro-Black. That's why they hated the Kendrick Lamar halftime show. That's why you got all them FCC complaints against the NFL. Because Kendrick Lamar went out there and put on a pro-Black show. Ryan Coogler created a pro-Black movie. And I Am Kiara, she said it in the chat already. I believe it was I Am Kiara. Let me see. I think it was, there we go. If we're so bad, why you want to be affiliated with us? If everybody hates the foundational Black American, why do you want to be tied to us some shape, form, or fashion? You want to be in our movies. You want to be in our music. You want to be in our circles. I don't get it. If we're so damn bad, why? Why would you want to be represented by somebody you feel is beneath you? I really need an answer for that. I don't want to be represented by somebody who's beneath me, someone who's a degenerate, someone who's running around here doing things that I don't like. I don't want to be represented at all by any of those type of people. Not at all. And that's exactly what it is, Jen. And shout out to you for being here, family. It's all about the spotlight. And since the movie is like the #1 movie in the, I'm saying in the country, but it might be the world soon. They want some of their people to be in that spotlight. They're jealous. It's envy. It's envy. Let's go here to this sister here, or more or less sister. She's a
I'm gonna take a sip of my morning coffee before I say what I'm about to say. You know what? Who cares? What the hell is wrong with Latinos? What the hell is wrong with us as a whole? Like seriously, we need to start talking about this. It first started with over half of us, 60% to be exact, voting for the orange tyrant, voting against our own people, our own interests, and we're seeing how that is playing out. You know what? We're not going there. Then the Latinos had the caucasity to go on Beyonce's internet, attacking Black people for not rioting in the streets like they were doing during the Black Lives Matter movement on our behalf, when it was the consequences of our own actions that got us here in the first place. Like, how are the caucasity? Like, seriously, that is caucasousness. And to add insult to injury, there are Latinos going on Beyonce's internet, attacking Sinners, Ryan Coogler's masterpiece, because there wasn't Latino representation. First of all, don't come for Ryan Coogler, okay? Because while Latino people are just bending the knee and kissing and licking boots just to get invited into the room, let alone a seat at the table. Ryan Coogler was like, F that table, I'm gonna make my own table. Beyonce was like, F that table, I'm gonna make my own table. And they now are inviting their own people to these tables for these opportunities. And you have the caucasity, because that's what it is. Y'all acting like the white people that they want to be so damn bad to be accepted by so damn bad because there's not Latino representation. Y'all are confusing representation with the showcase that was Sinners, the history lesson that was Sinners. Like, it's not the same. What makes me so sad is, when did Latino people become like this? When did the orgullo, the pride, dissipate into thin air? Like, when are we so accepting of bare minimum, a little cameo in the movie, or just...
I gotta pause right there, family. She asked a very serious question, and I think that she deserves a very serious answer. They've always been that way. Let's be very clear about it. LULAC, they was always trying to be in proximity of whiteness. The caucasity comes from them wanting to be the oppressor. That's where it comes from. It's always been there. And you should have seen how they lost their mind when they lost their status to whiteness. Salute me, Akim. Thank you for your Cash App. Your donation is blessed tenfold. And I appreciate you for being here, family. I didn't even see you come into the chat. But much love to you, family. I appreciate your donation. Let's let her get back to what she's saying.
Or just like invited to their spaces that they don't even want us in. Like, when did... Like, we need to have a talk. We are not okay as Latino people. As a Black Mexican American, okay, so I'm both. Can Black people just not have their moment? Can Black people just not have all the flowers that they're given right now? Because make no mistake, what is happening amongst Hollywood and the entertainment industry in regards to Black people bulldozing these doors open and creating their own lanes and creating their own spaces, it's beautiful. It is... Man, I'm getting goosebumps because I am so damn proud to be Black. You know, I'm so damn proud to be the other, you know, like and then you have Latino people coming in here trying to ride on the coattails. It's like, create your own damn freaking lane. Some Dusty on TikTok want to compare Sinners to From Dusk Till Dawn, which, make no mistake, From Dusk Till Dawn is an iconic movie. One of the baddest women to ever grace the earth was in that movie, Miss Salma Hayek, who created a scene that is so iconic, and I understand that, but how can you compare the two? I'm not getting the correlations, because From Dusk Till Dawn was representation. You just had Latino people in there, but there was no history lesson. There was no displaying our culture so beautifully like Sinners was. You know what I mean? It's like, when did we get like this? Why are we all of a sudden like this in droves? Because like I said, it wasn't even half. It's not half and half. It was over half of us. You know, it all started with the election that kind of put it on display, right? But my gaster is flabbered. I just don't know what to say anymore. I don't know how we got like this, and we need to stop.
I'm not gonna lie, that was a good one. She said, "My Gaspard is flabbered." I am so amused by that.
Need to freaking stop and get out of the way, because this is Black creators, Black directors, Black musicians' time to shine. You know, Black actors. Like, this is their moment. We don't need to try again to attach ourselves and hoping that they, you know, maybe create a lane for. No, we can do that for ourselves. We can do that for ourselves, and we have been. Why are Latino people acting like we're not creating spaces and, you know, creating our own lanes? And there's so many Latinos in the entertainment industry that are doing this for us as well. Like, I don't get it. Now I'm gonna have my sip of coffee because I'm done. I'm shook.
The reason why the Spanish speaking motherfuckers is talking shit about sinners is because our beautiful Black family has created a sense of entitlement within those people by starting that whole Black and brown bullshit. Even though they were never willing participants in the Black and brown bullshit, they still want to be recipients of the Black and brown bullshit. Because anytime I hear the words Black and brown, they're coming out of a Black mouth every time. I can't even count on one hand how many times I've seen a Spanish speaking motherfucker saying Black and brown. And the reason why I can't count is because I've never seen it. Never once. I'm not going to say it ain't been done, but I have never once seen a Spanish speaking person saying Black and brown people. Ever. I've never seen it. I'm not going to say it ain't happened, but I've never seen it. But that's the problem. We created a sense of entitlement within those people. So now they feel that any achievement that we attain, they're supposed to get a piece of it. When in fact, we don't owe them anything, nothing, but our asses to kiss. Honestly.
Show you right, sister. Show you right. Salute and a big shout out to our sister Stolen Ancestors. I appreciate your Cash App family. Your donation is blessed tenfold, and I appreciate you for being here. Family, this is exactly what I've been saying. This is exactly what I've been saying. A salute to GD. Thank you for being here, family. I appreciate you being here. This is exactly what I've been saying. We've been so accepting of every damn body. We've been allowing everybody to partake in our culture to the point where they feel entitled to everything we do. And now we're here calling them the hell out. And to be honest with you, a lot of these folks didn't even like the damn movie. But yet they want representation. They literally don't like the movie. But they're going around talking about representation. Let's go here.
A lot of y'all are about to be real mad at me, but I thought this movie was terrible. I really wanted to like it. Okay, before you come for me, please let me explain. The first part of this video is going to have no spoilers because even if I didn't enjoy the movie, I still will always encourage people to go to the movies. So you should still go and form your own opinion. The second part of this video, I will have spoilers because I'm going to get more into it to build my case and justify why I didn't really think it was a good movie. Sinners is a period action horror film produced, written, and directed by Ryan Coogler, the director of Black Panther, Creed, Fruitvale Junction. I have enjoyed his previous work. Set in 1932 Mississippi, Sinners stars Michael B. Jordan in a dual role playing twin brothers who return to their hometown with their newfound wealth to start a juke joint for the local Black community. A large portion of this film is focused on the world building and getting to know the twins as well as their cousin Sammy, who's an aspiring musician and singer. The movie starts with narration that music can be so powerful that it can awaken spirits, and sometimes it can awaken dark spirits. So Sammy's father, who's a pastor, advises Sammy against performing at this juke joint that the twins, his cousins, are opening, but Sammy goes anyway. The setup was good. I was enjoying getting to know the characters and I was hooked. I was excited to see where it would go, but it just takes such a long time on that the payout better be great. And it wasn't there. It just wasn't satisfying enough. And there were also a lot of characters and little things that happen that never get revisited or addressed. And it's kind of just confusing and it makes the story very convoluted and messy. There's this one scene that everybody's talking about as one of the greatest things they've ever seen. And it's when Sammy sings in the club. And I thought it was actually very cool. I thought the way that it was filmed was super cool, the style and the direction, but it just felt very out of place. It took me completely out of the movie. And I thought it would have been better off in like a concept for a music video or something like that, rather than this movie, because while that's playing, they're also bringing in the narration from the beginning where they're talking about music being so powerful that it can conjure spirits generationally. But then after that, the movie goes a completely different direction. So it's kind of just confusing to me. And I felt like the third act completely unravels and falls apart. Okay, this is where I will be discussing spoilers. So if you haven't seen this movie and you still want to watch it, scroll away. Why even bring up the evil spirits again if right after that you're all of a sudden it's a vampire movie, everybody's passing around garlic to chew on? I was like, huh? What's happening? What's going on? Then we're like hit with all this new information like, oh, vampires are actually different from these dark spirits that we've been talking about the whole first half of the movie.
Family. These people can't even comprehend what the goddamn movie was showing. They can't comprehend the history that the movie was telling. And the spiritual side that she's so confused by because it turned into a vampire movie. It showed more than she would ever understand because she's not a part of that system. She's not a part of the spirit that foundational Black Americans have. So we understood what was going on the whole time. Now, I'm not saying every foundational Black American loves the movie. I'm not saying that at all. But a good amount that I've spoken to have broken down this movie in so many different ways when it comes to our heritage and spirituality. So it wasn't meant to touch your spirit, young lady, who sounds like a 45-year-old smoker. Shout out to Black Truth United for that. It wasn't meant for you. So, of course, you don't feel any type of, you don't feel connected to it. But for the people it was created for, the connection is there. It's real. And we understand the different parts. Now, whether you thought it was going to be about spirits makes no difference. Makes no difference. It ended up being a vampire movie. So guess what? Vampires are what? Undead creatures without spirit, without a soul. I shouldn't even have to break that down. All of you tethers and all of you Nabiscos, many of you don't have souls. You have spirit. That's why you can get so mad and so fired up. But if you never heard, the pineal gland is the seat of melanin. It's the seat of the soul. Oh, I'm going too deep for these people. These people probably won't even understand that. Melanin is the seat of the soul. And you might have melanin, but you might not have that soul. You might not have that spirit. You got to have that soul of understanding. The spirit of understanding is only one part. This is why there's a balance. All things in the universe is balance. Right? You have a spirit, you have a soul. You have a left arm, you have a right arm. You have a head, you have, whatever you want to call it, the genital area. But there's a duality to everything. And a lot of these folks don't have the duality. Shout out to our sister, Bad. I appreciate you, 72. Miss Duckworth, for your Cashapp. Your donation is blessed tenfold, and I appreciate you for being here, family. A lot of these folks just don't have the understanding to understand, because with a soul, 9 times out of the 10, you'll be able to understand more, because you're able to show empathy. You're able to take in what you're seeing. You're able to really think about things. See, that comprehensive skill is very, very important. And we're seeing a lot of these people don't have very good comprehensive skills, but yet they want to be represented by us. In true fact, they actually were represented. The vampires represented these people. They just don't like the fact that the vampires actually are the representation of them. Let's be real about that. Let's let her continue.
Because they will always remain on the earth. They can never rest in peace. Okay, we're doing a vampire movie now. Okay, cool. That's still fine. But then let's do a vampire movie. Let's go all out. And I just thought that it wasn't scary. There was all this buildup and suspense, but then nothing was really happening. It felt like a Marvel movie. Somebody
They got the Najoro spirit. I love that. Put that on a t-shirt. Put that on a t-shirt.
He said it was like the Marvelification of From Dusk Till Dawn. And that's what the vibe was, because it was like all this world building, all this suspense and everything for like the climax to just happen. Everybody's just dying left and right. And it just was like very unsatisfying as a viewer. I mean, the mid-credit scene was definitely giving Marvel. And I was like, okay, wrap this up, land the plane. I'm ready for this to be done. What was the point of the Indians that show up looking for the vampires and then they're never shown again? They just like go off and we never see them again. What was with that? I thought the movie.
What's happening with the Indians that showed up and then they're never to be seen? They're called walk-on roles. They wasn't very important to the plot. The person that was important to the plot was the vampire who they were chasing. And once the vampire seemingly got away or was seemingly hidden, those people went about their business to continue looking for that vampire. Maybe they went over to the next town. None of that matters. Because the movie wasn't about those damn Indians who was chasing the vampire. And if those Indians came back, who's to say they wouldn't become vampires? See, it was all about the brothers slaying those vampires. So even if they came back, they would be taking the job of the brothers at the end of the movie. These people they're nonsensical. And they continue to come with bad faith arguments just to downplay the movie because they don't have the representation that they seek in the movie.
He lacked conviction in what it wanted to be, whether it wanted to be a fun action horror film or if it wanted to convey a deeper message. I think if Coogler was trying to make a movie about the exploitation of Black culture, that Jordan Peele's execution in Get Out 10 years ago was much more masterful and ages like fine wine to this day. That movie ages so well. And then.
So notice how she tried to hide her anti-Black racism, her foundational anti-Black racism against foundational Black Americans, by trying to bring up another person who's Black and say, oh, well, you know, his movie was so masterful and it ages like fine wine. Art is subjectable. Art is subjective. So you may not like something, and that's fine. But I'm not going to get online and try to bash a movie, nor the person who made the movie, if there isn't some sort of what is it? I forget what it's called. Where you have intentions behind it. And your intent is literally to talk about a movie that you didn't like because it gave representation to a people you don't like. Let's be very clear about that.
And as a horror film, I also think it's not the best because they have these.
Thank you, Miss Nisi. I thought it was just me. I'm like, what the hell is up with this woman's face? And I keep looking at these eyebrows and they are so goddamn bushy. Man, it's crazy. It is crazy. I thank you. Thank you, Miss Niecy. I thought I was tripping, but it's not. It's those eyebrows. Jesus Christ.
Moments where they're building up the suspense and you're kind of like, okay, like what's going to happen? And then it just kind of edges you and never actually lets you finish. I went with friends that jump, okay, at movies. They weren't even scared. So it kind of just felt like it fell flat on all fronts for me. I gave it 2 stars because I was still like having fun. Sometimes a bad movie can be like fun and entertaining still, and there were moments of that. And I thought the script at the start was a lot stronger than the second half of the movie. I just felt like it almost felt like he was kind of making it up as he went because there was no clear direction, is what it looked like to me.
Oh, family. I don't even want to let her finish because, you know, it's just nonsense. It's nonsense. And to be honest with you, the eye stash, thank you. And shout out to Still Kevin Trees. Thank you for being here, family. The eye stash is driving me nuts. I am getting drove crazy listening to this young lady with a smoker 45-year-old voice and eyebrows that look like a straight mustache. A thick mustache, one of those old school cowboy porno mustaches. You know, like I can't do it. I can't do it. So let's go here, family. Let's go here. You got the moist Asians coming out saying the same thing, that they didn't like the movie too much. And black people only like the movie because we worship trauma. Let's go here.
Sinners is a trauma-based film. The basis of the film is nothing but straight up Black American trauma with a hint of supernatural on top to hide that. This just proves that y'all are not over trauma films. Y'all say like y'all don't want to see trauma films, but y'all do. And that's the reason why trauma films continue to be created. That's why this movie's doing so well, especially amongst Black audience, because if it ain't got trauma in it, y'all ain't gonna watch it. And it's true, because look at this movie. All I keep seeing on my timeline is sinners, 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 sinners. Y'all love this traumatic ass shit. This whole movie basically, it showed the usage of the hard ER used by people who are not Black. It showed Black people as sharecroppers picking cotton. Like, and this is why I wish y'all would go ahead and, we as a people, please go heal yourself, because the reason why this movie connects so much is because it has trauma in it. Okay, the reason why y'all love watching trauma is because you still live in the trauma of your mama, your daddy, your grandpa, all this. Y'all relate with all these things, okay? And see, when Color Purple came out, y'all all said, I don't want to see a movie. We done with trauma movies. No, you're not. You ain't done with trauma movies, baby. What you done with is remakes. That's what you meant to say. But trauma movies, no, because that's all this was, okay? Like, and honestly, the past couple of Black movies I've seen this year were all trauma-based. Hell, even Woman in the Yard. Y'all swear to God that movie was good. To me, it was not that great. And also, to me, that movie was so traumatic. Y'all talking about the last scene was so outstanding, and it said so much. Oh, you mean the scene when a Black woman was about to take her own life?
I'm so confused, Miss Niecy. I'm gonna be honest with you. You know, this is a bussy loving Asian man in a sweater vest. He has the nerve to talk stuff about Black Americans, foundational Black Americans, in a sweater vest with no shirt on under it, with the Eminem look. This man is a gay, zesty Eminem Asian. Yes, a zesty egg roll. I am not joking. What else? What is this dude? Somebody tell. He looks like an alien. He looked dusty. I don't know what else to say about this dude. And you have the nerve to come on here and try to talk about what we like. Now, we didn't see this as trauma. We saw a retelling of our history and how people try to infiltrate their way into our spaces and use us to do whatever they want to do and then denigrate us. It's ridiculous. Exactly. Just shut up. Shut up. A rainbow spring roll. That's a good one. A rainbow spring roll. The Skittle Bag Brigade. He wants the soul pole. Oh, Jesus Christ. Tampax Pearl Sushi. He's Emperor Egg Roll. Nice try, Mr. Miyagi. Exactly. Exactly. And that would be the best thing for this dude to do is just shut the hell up. Looking like he's a villain from Rush Hour. Absolutely, Miss Missy. Absolutely. This wins the medal. He absolutely looks like he should have been a villain in Rush Hour. What other man running out here wearing a sweater vest? I ain't wore a sweater vest in years. And even then, it was with a suit. Not Jessica Chan. Not Jessica Chan. Let's let this dude continue. The fruity chow mein. Oh, hell.
And she didn't want to raise her children no more. And it didn't even turn out to be horror no more. Like, y'all be lying. That's why I said y'all be lying. And the healing has to begin, child. That's why trauma movies will always be a go-seller, like a go-to type of movie for the Black community, because ain't nobody trying to heal. Everybody just still living all the trauma. Everybody gonna act like ain't nothing wrong. And we love seeing ourselves in these movies. We love seeing ourselves pick cotton, getting cussed the fuck out. Okay, having people come over and try to take everything. Like, y'all just eating this shit up, but y'all swear to God, y'all over these type of movies.
Wait, family. Look right here. I lost my stuff right now. Hold on, we gotta click this.
Is it for real? Is it Junetao? Is it Jaden? Maybe Samira.
Oh, family.
Real?
Oh,
Is
family.
It Junetao? Is it Jaden? Maybe Samira.
Family. Oh my God, family. Why? It's too hilarious. Way too hilarious. I can't with this anymore, family. All right, so let me get back into this, because like I said, family, they want all this representation, but they want us to do it for them. These people won't get off their lazy ass. Well, isn't that what they say about us? Wasn't it that you lazy? You lazy. No more money for you. Bye-bye money. It was all that. It was all that. But yet they need us to give them representation in things that we do. Y'all still tearing his ass up. That is hilarious. Choppy chop soup. Oh man, broke back Asian. I am so amused. But family, this is what it is, though. This is what it is. All these things that they're doing, it needs to be seen. Everything is happening the way it needs to happen right now. Everything that needs to be seen is being shown right now. And it's because we sit on our square, because we're so unapologetic, they want to dim our light. They want to dim our light. They want us to walk around as if we're timid. They want us to be docile. And because we're the quite opposite, they're upset. They're upset. They're upset about the movie. They're upset about the way that we stand on business, about our music and our culture. They're upset about all of that. And so now you see the whole notion of people going around talking about black folks aren't humble. Black Americans need to humble themselves. No, we don't. No, we don't. Salute to Pal P. Thank you for being here, family. We don't need to humble ourselves one bit. What we need to do is what exactly we're doing. That's why we're the people we're meant to be at the exact time we're meant to be it. And we don't. And we don't. No F's given. I checked my pockets the other day. I thought I had an F, but that F, I don't know where that F went. To be honest with you, I was searching all over my house looking for an F to give. You know, I'm a giver. I am a giver. But I looked high and I looked low and I looked inside and I looked outside and I really couldn't find an F to give away. I just couldn't. Oh, you spent your you spent your last F Friday. I feel it. I feel it. F's are hard to come around when you're talking about foundational Black Americans. But family, I want to show this video because they're really trying hard to humble us, and we don't need to be humbled. We worked hard to be where we are. And family, you see this more prevalent when they're talking about our young brother Shador Sanders. Everybody knew Shador Sanders was supposed to be a first-round pick. Everyone knows Shador Sanders, and if you don't know who Shador Sanders is, that's Deion Sanders' son. But because our young brother not only had the talent, but he has the cockiness to go along with that talent, and he has a father that has the cockiness, that has the talent, and gave it to his son. And he has a father that can dictate what he's going to do and what he's not going to do. And Shador has built his own brand. Instead of putting him in the first round, they said, no, we got to humble that Negro. Nobody get him in the first round. Nobody select him. We're going to wait until the second round. And that was done purposely because they feel like they need to humble foundational Black Americans. It's the same thing that happened with Angel Reese. They got mad because she pointed at her finger saying that she was going to get a ring, in which she did. They hate when we stun on these folks because they feel like we don't have the right to stun on these folks. When it's anybody else's sportsmanship, oh, boys will be boys. But when you're a foundational Black American, your sportsmanship is called cocky. Very cocky. And we're here calling all that out. Exactly, Aquarius. Salute to you. He stunt like his daddy, and they don't like the fact that he stunts like his daddy. He don't need the NFL's money. He don't. And that's another reason why they did what they did, because they want people to think that he needs them. But the fact of the matter is, they need him more than anything. So many people were upset about it. So many people were upset that they did that to the young brother because everyone knew that any team that needed to win, you should have been picking him up first. But they allowed that system. They allowed that system to say, No, I would rather lose. Let's go here, family.
What's the obsession with humbling young black men? Like, what's the obsession? What's the obsession with humbling young black men? Like, what's the obsession?
The obsession is that a cocky, young, foundational Black American will grow up to be a cocky adult who's a foundational Black American who don't give two stuffs about how people feel. They're going to stand on business and they're going to fight for what's right. You saw how Deion Sanders was acting when he was making, when he left coaching Jackson State. Because really, he don't need their money. They need him more than anything. And he knows that. And he's instilled that into his sons, and I love that for them. That you don't need the NFL needs you. So when it comes down to cockiness, oh, you better bet your bottom dollar, family. You better bet your bottom dollar. They can't stand the cockiness on a Black man. They can't stand the cockiness on a Black woman. Because when we're cocky, it's warranted. See, everybody else goes around pretending to be something they ain't with this imposter syndrome. And we're the only people that actually has the right to walk around and be cocky. That's where the obsession comes from. The Nabisco community know that a lot of those people on the basketball court, a lot of those people on the football field are DEI hires. And when I say DEI, I don't mean Black. Y'all remember why the three-point shot was implemented in the NBA? For white folk. They literally implemented new rules for the game of basketball in order to give white folks an opportunity to compete. So when we're talking about cockiness, can anybody really be cocky besides foundational Black Americans? We have to scratch, fight, maul, beat up, whatever we needed to get to the position that we're in today. The only people across the world who's done this. So when you see somebody who you used to own running around, look, if they were the sons, if they were the Manning twins, the Manning brothers, nobody would give a damn. They would have been drafted. Shador would have been drafted in the first round by the very first team with the very first pick. But that's because of the fact they're Nabiscos. The system is made for them. Rules have changed for them. So when you get a young brother coming down the way and he's cocky as hell, but he's better at the game, no matter what rules you apply, no matter who you're applying for, this young brother coming, he dominates. Oh, they hate to see it. And then you look at his father and the way he was raised by his father and how his father was a dominant football player. They're seeing generational wealth They're seeing generational knowledge and they hate it. They hate it. I want to go here. And not just, I want to make sure you guys know, it's not just Shador I'm talking about. It's the same thing going on right now with our brother Shannon Sharp. No matter what you think about Shannon Sharp, what they're doing is trying to humble Shannon Sharp. This brother's about to sign a $100 million deal. All of a sudden, the OnlyFans girl come out talking about he did A, B, and C to her. But I want to go here because Chad Ocho Cinco said something very interesting, sounding like us. Let's go here.
I want you to listen to something that was sent to me on Instagram. Chat, y'all stay with me real quick and just listen to me very, very closely. What we are witnessing once again is the machinery of a system that has never quite known what to do with a free Black man, much less in a free Black family. The NFL, with all its pageantry and power, finds itself uncomfortable, even threatened, when the likes of the Sanders family walk into a room, not asking for a seat at the table, but daring to bring their own. Dion, Shador, this family has refused to shrink to fit the confines laid out for them. And so the machine does what it has always done. It seeks to diminish, to distort, to remind them and us that there is still a place for Black folk. It is not at the head of the table. But in tragedy, you see, it's not in their refusals to bow, but is in the nation's fear of Black excellence unchained. The fear that has always been the real danger, not the power of our stride, but the shadow we cast when we stand upright, unafraid, and unapologetically ourselves.
Yeah. I was talking to my sister. She said, "Well, you think Shador?" I said, "Libby, I'm gonna be honest with you. If he don't go in the second round, I think he might slide out of the third."
It's all a game. It's all a game.
I look, Ocho,
It's a game.
Your draft story, my brother's draft story was a lot different than mine. My brother
Yes,
didn't
sir.
have to wait long. First round, 7th pick, boom, he gone. On a plane to Green Bay, boom. Second round.
Hey, with red flags, with character issues, school to school, bounce from over and over. Why'd he go here? Why'd he go here? Bad. Still, second round. We taking a chance on him. There ain't no off the field issues with Shador.
Nope.
No issues, no nothing. Oh, he's arrogant. Oh, he's
good.
cocky.
Great.
I have a question. What was Johnny Manziel?
Cocky. Oh, give you one better. Baker Mayfield.
What was Baker Mayfield? Okay, now, what I will say, when it comes to college and you watch film, that motherfucker, Johnny Manziel and Baker Mayfield, boy, they played what they were absolutely awesome.
Yeah.
Salute to Queen Yasmin. Thank you for being here, family. And also, who else? DJ Black 909. Salute to you, family. Thank you for being here. But this is what we've been seeing. We already know what we see when they do it. It is a humiliation ritual. They're trying their hardest to humble, whether it's Shador or Shannon. And no, I don't agree with Shannon and his hankering for snow bunnies. I don't. However, that's not my business. I don't care what he do in the bedroom. He's just literally a proxy for Black men in general. So all these things that we're seeing from these people, we're meant to see these things because it's our time right now to address it. We are meant to be exactly who the hell we are as foundational Black Americans because we're the people calling out all this nonsense. So much so that even hell, Shador and his brother, they know the reason why Shador didn't go in the first round. Let's go here real quick, family. Uh-oh. What's wrong here? Let me try to... Oh.
I'm trying. It's your fault. If you wasn't that then we would get some figures. If you wasn't that dude, Shador wouldn't get drafted in round number 2. Let's do that. Let's go pro. I'm trying. It's your fault. If you wasn't that then we would get some figures. If you wasn't that dude, Shador wouldn't get drafted in round number 2.
And I'm happy. I'm be honest with you. I'm very happy that they can joke around about it, and also that they know what the reason is. They're not operating under any false assumptions. They're not running around here pretending as if, hey, you know, that's just how the game goes. No, they're calling it out too. They know exactly why Shador went in the second round and not the first. And it's because of their father and the way that their father raised them to be. That's it. And they don't want that image of a good father. Think about it like this, family. Every time you have an athlete who has a good father in his life who teaches them the ropes, they get attacked. Look at what happened with the Ball family. They attacked the Ball family left and right because the father, they didn't like the father because the father played the game. He knew the business. And instead of going around trying to get endorsement deals from these other type of companies and things like that, he started and literally made his children into their own brands. He didn't go sign a shoe deal. He created his own shoes. That's the image they don't want people to see, family. That's the image that they hate. So Deion Sanders doing it with his son before his sons could even get into the league. His sons are worth millions. They know the game because their dad gave it to them. They know the business because their dad is still in the business. Hell, it's even rumors going around saying that he might get a head coach job at one of these at what one of his sons team, excuse me. So I'm gonna be honest with you, this is just an image that they hate to show people. And why do they hate to show people? Why do they want us to be so damn timid? Why do they want us to be so docile? Why do they want us to be humble? Family, they want us to be humble. They want us to be docile because they want to make sure they can continue to say the things and do the things that we've been calling out. Let me go here, family. I'm sorry. I thought I pulled this up. Let me go here, family. They want to continue to do and say anything. And if we're docile and if we allow it, if we're humble, we'll let them. Let's go back to our sister right here. Right here. I told y'all was going to get acquainted with my sister here. This goddess be speaking. Let's get into it.
Black Americans are supposed to be easily manipulated. And if we are not easily manipulated, this is where all the anger is coming from. You feel what I'm saying? Because I've been trying to wonder, where is the, okay, I know that we responding to bullshit, but where did the bullshit come from? Because y'all been hating us since y'all got here. But these past few years, it's like a heightened amount of xenophobia. You feel what I'm saying? But then I listen to what they responding to. Oh, you guys just think you created everything. Oh, this is up under a video where we were talking about our history and something that we created. No hate pushed on the video. All right. You guys just think you know everything. Oh, this is up under the video where we're talking about being able to track our lineage back 7, 8, 9 generations. Didn't put nobody down. Didn't belittle nobody. Huh. You guys just think you taught the world everything. Up under the video, talking about how Asians make the best fried chicken, and we said that we're the ones who taught them how to make fried chicken. Didn't put nobody down. It's like if you have not mastered the art on how to manipulate the Black American mind, you're angry. You feel what I'm saying? It's like no matter how many Black politicians come out, the same ones that vote against our best interests and what we want, and it's always an American-born immigrant, no matter how many times that this happens, we're supposed to be able to be manipulated to allow it to keep happening at the rate that it's happening. We're supposed to still say, you know what? Black is black. Black is black. It's not every single one of you. You see what I'm saying? Because you'll never be able to say it's 100% all of y'all. So you're right. Let's just let it keep on. You feel what I'm saying? The fact that these same people that will come here, be able to check our box, get our benefits, see us delineating, and know that, hold on, these benefits might go with it. You feel what I'm saying? If we are not able to be manipulated, people are angry. People are angry. Y'all done separated yourselves so much here. Y'all done tried to rebrand America as the land of immigrants. And now you have real Americans putting immigrants on shaky ground, and everybody mad. Everybody mad. Everybody mad. Yeah. So y'all have to learn the art of self-preservation only dependent on yourself. See, y'all art of self-preservation is dependent on Black American stupidity, manipulation. You feel what I'm saying? Can we manipulate these people to give them their shit? Yeah. So see, if your push ahead is always dependent on manipulating somebody else, you're going to forever be on shaky ground, beloved. Live in your truth. Whatever the fuck y'all be talking about. And let me just say.
I swear I love that sister. That sister be cooking. Yeah, family. But like I said, it's all about manipulation. It's all about us being quiet so that they can do what they do, which is disrespect, denigrate, and talk stuff about us. And we're not allowing it. See, the foundational Black Americans of today, we're the cocky ones. We're the ones who understand our history, but not just understand it. We understand that we're not looping that shit around. Excuse my French. We're going to make sure that there is one straight line, and that line is going towards success. But these folks, they don't want you doing that. They want you walking with your head down, because if you're walking with your head down, family, you're walking with your head down, you can't see where you're going. Let me say that one more time, family. They want you walking with your head down, because if you're walking with your head down, you can't see where you are going. In FBA, this generation, we're walking with our head held high because we know exactly the destination. We know how to get there, and we're standing on that. They want you docile. They want you timid. They want you humble. Because when you cocky, you have the power, notice that word, to humble everybody damn else. And that's what we're doing. We're humbling everybody. Every single one of them, no matter what group they belong to, they are seeing us humble people, and they don't like it. I want to go here because I want to show another example. What they want to do when you hold your head down, when you're humble.
This.
And I'm a selfish, and I can only think about myself. And why didn't they vote for Kamal in the election?
This.
During the trip, it felt like some people were too busy playing Oppression Olympics to fully grasp the experiences of Palestinians living in Palestine.
And this.
Literally could not see past your own fucking issues, your own fucking comfort, or whatever the fuck. I don't care how oppressed you are in this country. I'm sure people are going to come over and say, yes, me, I'm saying this. I don't care how oppressed you are in this country. Nothing justifies genocide or arguing to not only support an administration that is doing a genocide, but give up a leverage that costs you nothing. It costs you nothing.
Are all the same message. And they have been the same message the entire time. And if you couldn't see how problematic these messages were when they were coming out, you need to reflect on that. And I suggest you reflect offline because you're probably going to feel defensive. You're probably going to be mad. And because you could not recognize the issues in the first place, you're not going to be able to recognize your own anti-Blackness. So I'm telling you, shut up, reflect offline, have those big ass fucking feelings that are going to come out offline, and then maybe craft an apology for whatever the fuck you said back then when you couldn't recognize it, when you couldn't recognize the fucking problem, when it fucking mattered. This.
And I'm a selfish.
That's just one, fam. That's just one. But that in itself shows you why they would rather you be humble. Because a cocky people will cuss these people the F out. I had to catch myself there, family. A cocky people will cuss these folks the hell out and bring them down to size. That's what it's really about. All these folks don't want us bringing them down to size because they think that they're bigger than us. And then they find out, no, you're not bigger than the program. We're the program. And nobody, neither one of y'all are bigger than the program. None of you. So now, since they've seen that we're so cocky that we're calling each and every person in each and every group out, you know what they had to do, family? And I ain't played this one in a while, but it's fitting.
Send in the clowns.
They had to send in the clowns, family. I don't know what this woman's lineage is, but I'll let you guys tell me. Let's go here. First and foremost, family, this woman, already there's a problem. I'm going to show you the problem, but I'm going to let her speak for a hot second.
The Black community lacks the capacity to critically think.
Now, family, the people she have on her wall, I want you to notice each and every one of them that she has framed on her wall. She has Candace Owens, Can't Dance Owens. She has Andrew Tate, Amru Fudel, Charleston White. Just look at her background as she's speaking, family. I don't know if this woman is out here trying to apply, put in her application to be the next Candace Owens, the next Can't Dance. But let's see.
And this is why there's never any logic to the size of the issues that they're on. And when you confront them about their ideology, they can't make it make sense, and they're just going to deflect and then start to personally attack you. And if you don't agree with them and you're from a different country, they're going to call you a tether. And then if you're Black and you don't agree with them, they're going to call you a anti-Black. And if you're white and you don't agree with them, you guessed it, you're now a racist. And instead of doing research and reading books, they rather just stay a victim. The problem that we're having.
Family, notice how she's othering us? Notice how she's othering us? Just want to make that clear.
In the community is Black people love microwave results. They don't want to work for anything, and they think that they're supposed to get something instantaneously. And then they want to say white people are so racist, but Black people spew some of the most anti-white rhetoric out of anyone.
Family, does it look like she's reading a script? Does it look like she's reading a script? Black people like microwave results. Really, the people who fought their way out of slavery, which took hundreds of years. The people that fought against the Black codes, which took half a century, who fought against Jim Crow, which took 20 years or so? Where are the microwave results? We're still fighting for things today that we didn't get in the 60s. What are the microwave results? This is how you know she's a tether. She others us. They. And then she says some foolishness like Black people like microwave results.
Now, if white people had done that, Black people would tear their own neighborhoods up and then get mad at white people for moving their businesses and not wanting to fix it. We have to start.
Family, are we going to talk about the white people that be tearing up their whole goddamn city when they lose a football game? Are we going to talk about the white folks that rioted over pumpkins? Pumpkins! Pumpkins! She's trying her hardest. She is trying her hardest. Look at me, White Zaddy. Am I doing a good job? You see me talking stuff to the Negroes. Will you pat me on my head now, White Zaddy? The same White Zaddy that rioted over pumpkins. Damn it. These people were mad that there wasn't enough pumpkin in their latte, their spice. This is the people she's putting on the cake for. Jesus Christ.
Exercising critical thinking and emotional intelligence, because if other communities have to step in to the Black community and fix it, it is not going to be pretty.
If other people have to step into the Black community and fix it, it's not going to be pretty. You mean gentrification? You mean gentrification? Isn't that what they've been doing? Isn't that destroying Black communities? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm looking at that forehead, brother. I am definitely looking at that forehead. If they wanted to do another Alien movie, all they have to do is come hire this woman. 100%. They don't even have to change nothing. She got the eyes and the forehead for it. Oh man, how much hair do you really think she has? Is it enough to even fit it? I'm wondering right now if that's a clip on. She might not even have enough hair to put into a ponytail, to be honest with you. I'm gonna be honest with you. That head is overtaking everything. She has more head than hair. Debo Lottie got more head than she got body. But family, this is why we are the generation that we are. This is why we're meant to be the people that we are today. We didn't just become the people that we are today. It took time to force this weapon that came through the fire. Just understand that. And that's why we're able to call people such as her right on out.
The Black community lacks the capacity to critically think.
Where in the world is all of these Black community, Black people coming from? Is this some kind of class that's churning y'all out? Like y'all just popping up all over the place? Is you kin to the other guy over there? Is y'all sound just alike? You got the exact same talking points. You even started the video out the same. Black community per capita. What is it? I know when something gets trending, people hop on it. But all y'all can't be coming at here sounding the exact same now. You got to switch it up a little bit. You can't be sounding like the per capita guy. It's his thing. Hey, you doing it. Ain't no telling how many other ones. TikTok Creative Fund don't pay that much for y'all to be going through all these. You can always tell when everybody start rearing it, get their videos in so you can get that check on the 15th. But it ain't that much money. It ain't worth all this effort. I just don't understand how you can keep saying Black people ain't this, Black people ain't that, but you're Black people. And at this point, it's you, him, or the Tanuki suit guy, Jeff. Guess we can throw John in there. He think he's smart. It's like 5 of y'all, and y'all all claim that y'all smart. Y'all got it figured out. You keep saying Black people this. How are you excluding yourself from this group? Like, is there a certain number y'all that ain't with the rest of the Black community that just don't know nothing? What's the stats? The per capita guy. Tell us what's the statistics say? You a statistic guy. Like, how many Black people do y'all think is smart and intelligent, that's different from the rest of the Black people? Because at first I thought it was just you because you just said Black people. So if you ain't including yourself, that mean the other 4 or 5 of y'all on the app, you talking about them too. Is they not included in the Black people? How many is it? I checked out your content, a whole lot of your videos. You keep saying, yeah, we need to start doing something about it.
Speak up and stand with the people that are trying to do something about it. It's about time we just stop blaming the system and just do something about it. Figuring out who's doing what so we can do something about it.
Y'all ain't doing nothing about it. All you doing is making TikToks. You ain't doing anything other than just giving all the people who already don't like Black people something to cheer on. It's just sad to see. Y'all got to have some kind of talent. It ain't nothing y'all can do. You turn your phone on other than say stuff like this. They ain't got nothing to contribute.
Per capita. The Black community lacks.
Family. They're mad. They hate us because they ain't us. Yeah, exactly, Angelic. Hold up. Gotta hit them.
We? We.
Like I said, family, they hate us because they ain't us. We are exactly who we're supposed to be at the very time that we need to be. And I want you to walk around with your head held high, knowing that they can't touch you. They want to be like you so bad, often imitated, never duplicated. That's the problem. But you keep doing what you're doing. You keep being who you are, because you know what? We're changing the world by doing so. We're changing the country by doing so. And I'm not in any shape, form, or fashion going to be timid about that. I'm going to be 100% cocky. I'm going to be the cockiest cock you can ever see. Pause. Because my people, who I stand on the shoulders of, has put too much into this country to allow anybody to come into this country and think that they're going to tell us how to be who we've been our whole time in this country. Period. Point in blank. If you're not subscribed, go ahead, hit that subscribe button along with the notification bell so you can be notified whenever videos like this drop. Please make sure you're hitting that like and share button so we can beat up the algorithm. Make sure we get this message out to the ears that need to hear. And if you have not done so yet, please make sure you hit that link in the description. Go to change.org and put your signature on the petition for reparations. And with that being said, family, we are who we're meant to be. Be proud of that. Walk with your head held high and have a clear vision of where we're going. Because trust me, not only will we make it there, we're almost there. People wouldn't be so mad if we wasn't making headway. People wouldn't be so upset with us if what we were doing wasn't working. But since it is working, everybody's got to point the finger at us. And that's okay. That is okay because we'll be the villain. We have no problem being the villain. And we have no problem telling all of you,
fuck him, goddammit, and fuck anybody with his ass. Yeah.
That's it. And that's all. With that being said, family, the doors of the church are now closed. I'd like to thank each and every one of you for being here. And I want to thank all my members. My members, you have a video actually coming a little bit later today as well. Members only video. And like I said, family, we're the sauce. And what you do with sauce, you make sure it's messy. So we're dropping this sauce all over the damn place. Get your mops.
My grandfather built this country, man. He fought wars for it. And most places he went wouldn't let him sit down and get a cup of coffee. I can't even catch a cab in New York. You know, it doesn't matter how many degrees I get. All you people see is color. Your grandfather was an immigrant. You're American. My grandfather was born here, Duke. And you people still look at me as just another nigga.
I know that the government, whatever can't stand us black people, he doing everything in the world to make black man be extinct. But I'm going to tell you one thing, us black people going to survive. Yeah. So fuck everybody. I'm out.